Greetings, and welcome to House of R, a Ringerverse podcast on the Ringer Podcast Network. I'm Mallory Rubin, and joining me today, we may appear to have the weak and feeble bodies of women, but we possess the heart and spirit of a king. It's Joanna Robinson.
We've come to pod for the Dragon Queen. What if I just say that every week? We've come to pod for the Dragon Queen.
Roddy the Ruin and his iconic quotes are welcome here at the House of R at all times, whether or not it's a House of the Dragon deep dive. As far as I'm concerned, today is a House of the Dragon deep dive. We are going to dive deep.
Profoundly.
Recklessly deep.
We are going to plumb the depths.
We're going to the bottom of the gullet. Right.
Just like poor Furmax.
Do we haven't issued the spoiler warning yet? God damn it. This episode of House of R is presented to you by Target. For 30 years, Pokemon has shown that adventures are better together, and Target is calling all trainers to the celebration.
That's because there's something for every era of fan in the Pokemon and Target limited time collection.
Thought you found them all after the first drop? Think again.
Drop 2 just landed, featuring life-size Pokemon puzzles and an instant print digital camera.
The entire collection is in store and online, so check it out now.
Explore now at Target.com. All right, before we get started, we're sort of editing this in through the magic of editing. To say, we just got confirmation from folks in the know, folks who would definitely know this.
Yes.
That the location where Ulf and Hugh and Adam spend some time in this episode, season 3, episode 1, is the banks of the God's Eye, not the Isle of Faces, which is something we talked about on Talk the Thrones.
Yes.
So we are re-editing this podcast. If at any point we say Isle of Faces, it slipped through the edit. We didn't mean it.
We're going to do our absolute best.
Yeah.
We're going to do our absolute best. It's like we just time traveled to make this update.
That's fun.
And now we get to talk about programming reminders, which we originally shared 3 hours ago.
Go for it.
Okay, Joanna, before we get to season 3, episode 1, the season 3 premiere, let's hit some programming reminders. What else is cooking?
Oh, guess what?
Yeah.
More House of the Dragon.
That's right.
Talk the Thrones with Christopher Ryan right after season 3, episode 2, and season 3, episode 3, and season 3, episode 4, and so on and so on. Also, between Talk the Thrones and House of the Dragon, plumbing the very depths of this story and history and culture, is a slightly less profound dive, but nonetheless important, into the Vampire Lestat.
Absolutely. We're sinking our fangs.
So it's Talk the Thrones, the Vampire Lestat, and House of the Dragon Deep Dive. Those are the 3 hits you can expect from us every week. However, should there be a film release that we're excited about, perhaps you will get us not thrice, but 4 times a week.
It's entirely possible.
It's very normal.
We didn't rewatch every single Christopher Nolan movie and talk about all of them to not cover the Odyssey when that comes out. For example,
that'd be funny.
That would be wild.
That's like if we watched all of Doctor Who and then didn't cover the new seasons of Doctor Who.
Not something we would do.
Who would do that?
We'd love for you to follow along.
Sure. Spotify?
Please. You can watch full video episodes of House of R and the Midnight Boys. Pew, pew!
Spotify, YouTube.
Spotify, YouTube. Follow the Ringerverse YouTube channel.
What
about
about
social?
Yeah. What if I followed the House of R pod on Instagram or TikTok?
Great. At House of R pod. I'd suggest you do it.
You might get some dragon math from us, some social first only dragon math from us.
Ooh. Boy, what else will you get? You got to follow to find out.
Email us.
Please.
hobbitsanddragons@gmail.com.
The inbox is always open. The whole crew was so excited to fire off the Raven today.
Yeah, they're thrilled.
We heard that many people are excited to fire the Raven.
They're grappling in the control room to press the button for the call. So,
spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Let's refresh how we handle spoilers for Throne Spots for House of the Dragon.
Please.
If it happened in this episode of television, season 3, episode 1.
That's not a spoiler.
We're talking about it all. It's a deep dive. That's the entire point of the podcast. If it's ever happened in any other episode of Game of Thrones television or prior episode of the show, an episode of Game of Thrones proper, maybe even Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
I think Night of the Seven Kingdoms is on the table.
Could come up today. Fair game. Throughout, we like to sprinkle in some book passages from Fire and Blood, the text that this show is adapted from, and some other textual notes, references as context, but none of that will spoil future events. We will, however, have a dedicated book spoiler section at the very end of the podcast. So anything that happens in the future that we know from the books,
and we know a lot,
we'll talk. But it's always kind of a question mark in this show in particular, given the nature of the adaptation.
We think we know
narrators in the books. We think we know a lot. We don't know shit.
We don't know anything. Ryan Connell's like, oh, you think you know? You have no idea. Sheepstealers coming to the Gullet.
Exactly. God, we were like sitting here for years waiting for Nettles.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us now. Look at us now, just receiving a lot of texts from David Jacoby about where is Nettles. We haven't gotten them yet this week. That's how I know he hasn't watched yet.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. We'll know the second he watches.
Right.
I feel sure.
You're right.
I feel sure.
You're right.
So before we get to the book spoiler section at the end, we will issue another warning. We will let you know it's time if you want to hang around, if you've read the books, or you just are like, I want to know anyway. Great. If you don't want to know, that's your moment to leave. It's a brief little section at the end. There's usually a pretty scary sound effect that Carlos will select. But he's been playing around, dabbling so that you are properly warned, but not alarmed and imperiled while on the road, as we have heard. Some people feel.
If you have a cardiac condition, we would not like to trigger it just to save you from book spoilers.
As everyone can tell, we are super well rested and in a really normal place today. We're both doing great. We are genuinely excited to be here for the pod. I won't say that we are as well rested and cogent and balanced as we've ever been, but maybe that'll be great.
I'm going to say to you what Jace said to Vale.
Yeah.
We're ready.
Yeah. Is this not our purpose?
We're ready. And they were, and so
fine.
Are we.
It went fine.
Which one of us is the Jace of podcasting? Probably both of us. Mogging till the bitter end.
Servant face.
Yeah.
You're on this video podcast.
All the
you
way
can watch on Spotify.
to the bottom of the drink.
All right. Any other intro notes before we get to the opening snapshot? Joanna Robinson, first of your name.
No, but I'm so excited to be back with you.
Me too. This is not a sentence, but an honor. It is time for the opening snapshot. I love the little sound of the sword.
Snicked.
Wonderful. Let's start here. It's been a minute. I mean, not for us. We potted about this very episode of television mere days ago.
2 years.
Is that your granny voice? I love it.
That's like my Titanic voice.
Oh,
right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Wonderful. Well, apt in this episode because, if you watch the House of the Dragons build, it's a featurette. A lot of I worked on the Titanic. Brought me in for the Gullet.
Do they talk about that time that they put, what was it, PCP in the clam chowder on the set of the Titanic?
Oh, no, I've heard you talk about that before. That's a great nugget.
Genuinely my favorite story.
That's a great nugget. It's been 2 years since the television program House of the Dragon aired.
Correct.
We have had the pleasure of returning to Westeros in the interim. We covered A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, a show that we adored and that many Game of Thrones fans adored, but it's been a couple years since we got to watch Hot D. Much of that season was quite good. It did not end in a place where people were super pumped or super jazzed, including us. It was like, that's not where this should have ended. It should have ended with Gullet or maybe what came after.
And you know what? The people who make the show agree.
That would have been amazing.
They wanted that.
This episode at the end of season 2 would have been a fucking banger. However, that's not how it happened. We waited 2 years. How does it feel just to be back in the world of House of the Dragon? And then what did you make? Give us a little table-setting taste of how you found this premiere, which is called, I should note, Salt and Sea, Fire and Blood. And if you had said to me, put down a bet, what's this episode going to be called? I would have said, Vegas took it off the board. It's going to be called Gullet, The Gullet, or Battle of the Gullet, because that's how Game of Thrones battle episodes are named.
One last mog.
Servant face, Jace.
Mog into the last. All right. Salt and Sea, of course, that is.
Yes.
Corlys and Alyn claims to be Salt and Sea. Fire and Blood.
The Valarians, yeah.
That's Bela and the rest of them. So,
Air, sea, love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if by land? All right. So listen.
Yeah, tell me.
Critics were raving about this season.
Yes.
And then I saw the fan reaction I saw was like positive, but like mixed positive, but positive.
Oh,
That's what I saw.
Okay.
You saw like overwhelmingly positive?
Yes, though I never know how to process that because I think everybody, and this is just true for people in general in 2026, the year of our Lord, everybody's internet experience is a bubble of their own algorithmic design. So I don't even know how to tell what the wider, like it's just, this is a thing to kind of reckon with.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, and in general, we always like to say, oh, Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb ratings, like you take that with a grain of salt always. You know, this episode has a 9.3 on IMDb with a lot of votes. Does that mean anything? Maybe not, right? Like, does that stuff ever mean anything? Maybe not. So it's more like from me talking to people in my life. Like, I heard from a lot of people who watch this and were like, I thought that was a banger. I thought that was great. We're back. I will say this. Those are not people who were like, I'm done with this show at the end of season 2.
Right.
So I'm trying to be cognizant of that. Like, was the episode, I think if you like House of the Dragon, you were maybe bummed by how it ended, but excited for the return and hyped and anticipating the return.
Yeah.
I think it feels like there's a pretty jubilant reaction to the episode. Nothing is unanimous, but that people are like, okay, we're back. I think this is going to go in a good place. Was the episode and maybe the response to it enough to bring back people who are like, this show is not for me. It's too dour. It's too slow. It's not the tone or vibe I want. I don't have a feel for that yet. I don't know if you do.
And we should note that people writing the reviews for this season are working off of probably like 4 episodes that they got to watch and stuff like that. So that's a more complete picture than the one we're talking about here today. But I think I'll just say this. I love being back in Westeros. I really missed like Emma Darcy's Rhaenyra. I really missed Olivia Cook's Alicent.
Same.
I had a great time with Helena in this episode. There's a lot to really like in this episode. I like got really into Ulf again in this episode. I forgot how much I love Tom Bennett in this role, etc.
What did you think of his ass wiping strategy with the very like kind of sparse leaf? Was there not a more ample leaf?
Well, I think if our friend Tyson from Survivor were here, he would have said, go in the lake. No, go in the lake. You don't wipe. You go let the water wash you clean. Go in the lake.
It's a good
You think no one's ever shit in the God's eye?
I think someone has taken a shit in the God's eye.
I absolutely think someone's. Anyway, okay. I love doing this with you.
Same.
This just like thrills me.
Same.
It's really hard for me to divorce my experience of watching the show from my experience of doing Talk the Thrones and then the deep dives with you.
Same.
You know what I mean? It's all of a piece. And there's nowhere I'd rather be than sitting across from you talking about Westeros. So that's all true.
Same. It's just like the highlight of my year every time we get to do it. The fact that we got to do it twice this year or are getting to do it. We're just beginning the second time. But
and allegedly we'll be back in January.
I know. That's fun. You know, the monoculture is such a rare thing. One of the things we always like to celebrate at The Ringer is like even when in the peak TV streaming wars era, it is rare for a show to feel like it has like a vast seismic audience anymore. Mm-hmm. But even so, when it does, it's amazing. Even so, if it doesn't, but it's like there are people watching it and they care about it, like the passion, the engagement of people who love a thing is one of the great joys of podcasting. You know, we always love to get to like share it with each other, with the bad babies. That's always so fun. So Thrones is like, you know, it's been an uneven experience and a mixed bag since like season 7 of the original series. We've had our peaks, we've had our valleys.
Or earlier.
As you know, I love season 6. I have some notes on season 5. The opportunity to return to Westeros is like always something I look forward to, and then I hope we get to enjoy being there week after week. I'm encouraged by the start. We got to break down 2 of the 3 trailers heading into the season. The third one we didn't get to do because I was not in the country.
She was abroad in Sweden, and I couldn't do it without her. True.
Not true, but most of the company was there, and so there was no one to produce a podcast. That is true.
If I knew how to turn on the cameras, I would have done it.
Oh man. And feeling that energy when we like got to break down the trailers, these moments from the canon, from the story that we are so anticipating, I really feel like season 3 and 4, if we had a do-over from the word go here, with some things about the pacing of seasons 1 and 2, which have episodes in them that I adore, and also some like questionable, would this have been plotted and broken exactly this way choices. I think where it leaves us is hopefully a really rich, full place for seasons 3 and 4. Very action forward, full of a lot of major moments, big battles, Gullet-esque moments in the story that I think will give the people who are like, I'm waiting for those moments, something to look forward to. But the focus on characters and their relationships, the way that something like the Alicent, when Jace is like, how can you trust this person? We're watching at home and we're like, the show is rooted around the history between those characters. And so I am confident and hopeful that even as the spectacle swells, I don't know that we'll ever go more than a couple episodes at this point, the rest of the series, without like a big showdown of some sort, that we will also still be properly calibrated and balanced with the character beats that we love. So I thought that this was a great way to start the season. I really enjoyed it. Quite sad about Vermax because I love the dragons. When the dragons move toward each other, I just like, and the score surges, something in my heart like activates. It's something I just really love about being in the world. So I'm hyped to be back. I'm excited to keep watching and covering the season.
I really like a highlight. I didn't talk about this enough, I think, on Talk the Thrones. A real highlight for me and something that got me really excited for the season was the introduction of Ormund Hightower. Like I thought, like when we think about Thrones and we think about like the characters who joined us in season 2 or season 3 or whatever, like it's always fun to add new layers to the world. And James Norton is an actor I've always like really, really loved. And Ormund Hightower, I think I wanted to like clear for Chris Ryan to like share his love for James Norton, but like I love James Norton. And I think Ormund Hightower and what they're doing with that character is really, really fun. So to like get to know that contingent, just even a little bit, just like very briefly, but like a really memorable introduction was very exciting. I think a challenge they have this season is like our characters, a complaint of early House of the Dragon was, oh, we're all just like in King's Landing.
Yep.
Like Team Green, Team Black are all just like in the castle all the time.
Yes.
And it's just like Daemon gets to leave sometime and then eventually they like move out to Dragonstone and stuff like that. But like oftentimes we're just in this set.
Yeah.
Now we are scattered to the wind.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so that's a challenge, that this is a challenge on Thrones when like people spread out too much and you're like, do I want a little bit more time with Gwayne and Criston? I do. And I want a little more time with Alice and I want a little more, it's just sort of like there's a lot going on. And so how much are we going to be able to check in with everyone? And will it feel like we lose track of anyone because we can only check in with them a little bit? Right. That's a question I have for this season. Sure. But yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about it.
Me too. A lot of characters, a lot of places on the map. The devastating cataclysmic dragon war, so a lot of them are going to die. Then there will be fewer characters.
Yeah, that'll make it easier.
That'll make it easier.
Yeah. Let's start bumping off those main characters and dragons, shall we?
Should we get to the deep dive?
Let's do it.
Let's head to the bowels of the pleasure den. Yeah. That's right.
That's the Mallory Rubin dragon screech.
I always forget.
The bowels of the pleasure den.
Not a character we got any update on, by the way, in the
Otto
season 3
Hightower.
premiere.
Speaking of Hightowers.
Where the fuck is Otto?
Where's Otto?
Still waiting. That is kind of wild, actually, to be waiting 2 years. It's like, keep waiting. Tough.
Yeah. A mysterious appearance from Otto at the end of season 2, and we still don't know what the hell's going on.
Nope. We're going to go through this episode sequentially, broadly in order. Every now and then, we're going to like cluster some stuff. For example, we get many Rhaena Sheepstealer check-ins before the Gullet arrival. We're going to cluster all of those at the top.
Girl dinner. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that what it looks like when you eat dinner?
Sometimes, honestly. Sometimes
just
it's like I'm really glad no one's
Uncrustable
around.
in each hand.
No, I don't do Uncrustables for dinner. As you know,
I
I'm a big enthusiast of an Uncrustable for an office lunch or a quick snack. Yeah. But as you also know, I honestly can't remember at home without company the last time I sat down at a table to have dinner. Adam and I eat at TV trays next to each other.
I spent a lovely week as a third in your marriage, and I know this intimately.
We sat, I think, no, I was going to say we sat at the kitchen island with you, which we did, but we also then, the TV trays came out, I think, midway through the visit.
The thing is, you only have 2 TV trays, so it was just like Adam sat at a table over there, and you and I sat at the...
We had 4 at some point. Don't know where they went. Good note. We'll look into that. Rhaena claimed Sheepstealer in the Vale. Let's start here, because we pick up right where season 2 ended, which was Rhaena deciding not to honor the pledge, admittedly a begrudgingly made pledge, right? Not a pledge that Rhaena wanted to make.
She's like,
Rhaenyra.
Babysitter's Club couldn't be me.
Not for me, right? Rhaenyra was like, I needed to be the mother to them that I cannot. Teach them, train them, guard them as a dragon guards her eggs. And Rhaena was like, I've got some feedback on this.
Rhaena's
but
like, no,
ultimately went to the Vale and then little Aegon, little Viserys, getting aboard the gay abandon, sooty paw print. Rhaena's like, I got some business to take care of here. Okay, so that's where we left Rhaena, and that is where we start the season, because obviously Sheepstealer and Rhaena are going to have a key role to play in the events to come. So a reminder on the Rhaena front, as this is actually something I wanted to note quickly as well on the reminder front, because one of the things we talked to Chris about, Chris opened Talk to Thrones and basically was like, did you guys remember what was happening in the story? We tried not to be too rude in response. Whether we succeeded, I don't know. But he, I think, completely fairly was like, because it's been so long and there are so many storylines and characters, like, are people going to have any trouble acclimating again? We had watched a screener.
We got many emails about this.
There was a 6.5
sizable
minute, previously on. I am struggling to recall a time a television show opened with a previously on that long. That wasn't like a series finale or something.
Thrones did a really long one once, but I can't remember what it was for.
End?
Maybe the final season or something like that. But sizable recap for folks.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, it's been a long time. A lot has happened. Let's catch you up.
It's been 4 years since we started this adventure.
That's pretty wild.
It's been an entire high school.
My goodness.
Yeah.
An entire Sunnydale High. So Rhaena had been plagued, right, by insecurity over not having a dragon. We can think back to something like the Pentos stint when the family was there and Rhaena's like singing to her egg, roasting her egg in the fire. And her mother had to say like, I had a harder path. You're going to have a harder path, right? Some of them never hatch. Rhaena's like, am I going to be able to stay? Dad doesn't talk to me or like me because I'm not a rider.
It's tough when your dad's entire personality is dragon.
It is.
Yeah.
And he's like, Bela.
And he's like, Bela.
You got a dragon,
let's
read.
Let's learn Valyrian, like blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Rhaena, you're also here.
Not ideal. And so obviously that's a formative wound. I think the comp to Aemond is very appropriate, given that we saw young Aemond be bullied, be humiliated because he didn't have a dragon and
snatched up the one that Rhaena wanted.
Exactly. Claimed her mother's dragon.
Yeah.
It's not like Aemond has completely worked through all of that. That's still very much hanging over him. So the desperate, reckless thing you're willing to do if you don't have a dragon and your entire family is like the dragon family.
You're saying Aemond has some psychological issues?
He could stand to work through a few more things. I think Aemond would really enjoy therapy. Would he enjoy it? I don't know. He would benefit from it. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing with Rhaena doing her little How to Train Your Dragon sequence here at the beginning of this episode. I understand. Her desire to be of use, her desire to be part of her family.
Yeah, to not feel on the outside.
Not just be a babysitter, all of that sort of stuff. Let's train a little longer in the Vale. I'm not saying she left the Vale to go to battle. She didn't. She was just trying to get back to Dragonstone. She's like, let's go back to Dragonstone.
Right.
And I'll show them that I got a dragon. I'm saying stay in the Vale a bit. Now I understand. No access to showers. All of your meals are regurgitated sheep. Not the best.
But freshly roasted.
Is she getting any roughage? You need some
freshly
vegetables.
Roasted.
You can't.
That's a good
man
question.
Cannot live on mutton alone. Okay.
I'm not the one to consult on a balanced diet.
I say trade a little longer.
I think it's a good note and a worthy piece of feedback that Rhaena would have benefited from hearing. Yeah. Yeah, going right into battle. And this is the theme of the episode is good intention, bad outcome, right? But when a good intention is paired with a desperate need to prove yourself, whether you're Rhaena in this circumstance, or whether you're Jace, bad things happen. The hubris, this through line for this character set, rears its head many times. They're not just for the Dragon Riders, right? Like even something like Corlys with the pretty sick through the teeth Dragonstone Pass maneuver. He's like, Lohar's not going to be able to follow. Well, guess what?
She did.
Lohar followed, right? So many different examples as well. Sheepstealer, we should also note, is like a wild dragon, Joanna. Never had a rider.
Exactly. So that's tough. A very old dragon.
Yes.
Been around a long time, but never had a rider. Our listener, Jay, wrote in to say, just thought I'd point out that what seemingly identifies Sheepstealer as a, quote, wild dragon is a bad case of snaggletooth and a horrific underbite. Mm-hmm. If that's what sets him apart from the others, then are the dragons hatched into royalty receiving some sort of regular dental care, brushing, flossing, etc.? Do the royal dragons get braces when they're young to straighten their fangs? Do they need to wear a retainer to keep their teeth from shifting back? Who's doing that job? First of all, dragon keepers never sleep.
No.
Dragon keepers do a lot. But also I think that it might be just an underbite born unto an underbite.
Mhm.
But it might also be like the cannibal, another wild dragon over on Dragonstone, might have fucked this dragon up a
Little
bit.
scuffle?
Might
Yeah.
have fucked Sheepstealer up a bit. And maybe that's why Sheepstealer is like, I'm going to go to the Vale. You know who's not in the Vale? The cannibal. You know who's in the Vale? A bunch of sheep. So I'm going to go steal some sheep from the Vale and live in the Misty Mountains. Honestly, that climate looked delightful to me. The
Beautiful
cool
in the Vale.
misty fog of the Vale.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Plenty of food. And we see how Sheepstealer once in the Gullet responds to the presence of other dragons and just in general activity, right? So a bit of a loner. I thought the underbite was a great touch.
Oh, I
just
loved
a
it.
great,
Oh, I loved
delightful
it.
touch.
And
Cool dragon.
His whole design.
Yeah.
Like he's bonier and scalier and like
Yes.
all these other things. So yeah, great design.
Joanna, how did this claiming compare to the other claimings that we've seen? Anything?
So you're thinking about Aemond and Vhagar.
Sea Smoke claiming Adam.
Sea Smoke.
Sea Smoke saying fuck canon.
Sure. Silverwing, Vermithor. What
The
about
sewing.
Danny and Drogon?
Oh my God. Well, of course. I mean,
You know?
an all-timer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in general, actually, was the sewing, like how top of mind was the sewing from the penultimate episode of season 2 for you in terms of just like really heightening our awareness of the danger of this? You know, when young Aemond goes to claim Vhagar and like certainly could get roasted or eaten or fall off. It's scary. It's big. It's this massive moment. But the carnage that we see in the Red Sewing paired with this like little nugget that we get that Rhaena tried to previously claim Sea Smoke and almost died in the attempt. So like the fact that that's the backdrop for all of this, and this is a wild dragon who's been around since Jaehaerys the First youth and has never had a rider, like the likelihood of this working out is very slim. There's no harness. There's no rope to climb, right? It's just like grab those spikes, hold on, and disappear into the fog. Was it scary?
It was frustrating because I did not feel like Rhaena was being very smart. But I understand her desperation.
Yeah.
This is a lifelong insecurity for her, so I understand that. But a lot of the characters in this episode are not being very smart, and Rhaena is certainly the first among many. So when she takes this risk, and Sheepstealer's first move is just like bomb off the cliff, you know, I'm just like surprised that she's like, success.
Yeah.
I did it.
Got like half a line of the dragon lullaby out and interrupted by a roar.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care for karaoke. Thank you very much. But also, there's no reason Sheepstealer should understand Valyrian. Sheepstealer has not been trained. So she's like trying to like access Sheepstealer with all of these commands. Yeah. And Sheepstealer's like, I don't speak your language. Right. I don't care for your songs.
I didn't attend lessons in the dragon pit.
No, but we can eat some sheep. Songs. Yeah, we can eat sheep together.
I did think tossing the sheep was
sweet.
So sweet.
Like she's a little baby bird. Like it's great, but given that Sheepstealer does not understand Valyrian, and then we ride him into battle and then try to keep him under control with some Valyrian.
Not effective.
No.
Not effective. And his fear for himself and also his desire to protect his rider, very apparent, but the ability to be fully in sync, tough.
I was thinking about the sewing a lot, of course, because what the adaptive change that has happened here is that the character of Rhaena has been swapped for this other character that they're clearly now not doing in the show.
Yes.
This girl named Nettles.
Yes. Where are you on this choice now that it is definitive and undeniable? It was trending this way, but now we know for sure.
I understand it completely from a TV storytelling point of view. It's the economy of characters, right? We have a character who is insecure about not having a dragon. We could just yada, yada, yada Rhaena, you know, out of the story essentially, or we could swap her in for this other character and then make it all much closer to the family, what happens here. But Nettles, we should say in the book, is a common girl.
Yes.
Right? And during the sewing, she shows up on Sheepstealer and she's just like, I found some sheep and I got this
built
dragon.
the trust. Yep.
It's just like a really impressive thing. And what's so interesting about her is like, unlike the other Dragonseeds, there's no clear indication that Nettles has Targaryen blood in her. She might. There's various rumors. There's fire and blood. Any rumor can fly, you know? But she might not. Right. And so then it introduces this tantalizing question of like, can anyone claim a dragon?
Right.
You know? And that all goes out the window when you swap this like common girl for this princess, Targaryen princess, you know? And so you lose that.
For sure.
But in terms of like economy of storytelling, as Condal is struggling to keep control of the story, we've talked about this on Talk the Thrones, like we're putting characters we already know into battles so that we don't have to introduce like 10 new characters that you've never met before just to have them die or whatever.
Right.
So we're really trying to keep everyone anchored into characters they've already met and know. So I really understand that.
Yeah.
But you do lose something in doing so.
Yeah, it's a great shout because, and like we already referenced Jacoby, but one of our pals, and a lot of people feel this way, like was very worried as it clearly pointed toward Rhaena going for Sheepstealer, like for a lot of reasons, right? But also specifically that what that maybe robs people of the ability to believe about who could, and it's like, you know, maybe there's just something in the family tree, and somewhere along the way, like Nettles also is a dragon seed, and that would be a thing that people learned at some point.
Entirely
but
possible.
Just the glimmer of an iota of a chance that that's not the case. Very interesting. There are other story beats on the Nettles front that some of which I have questions about now, some of which I think there's a very neat swap to Rhaena in terms of outcome, if not plot detail. We'll talk about that in the book spoiler section. I'm excited to.
But it's a consequential character, and so it's a big move to make. And I did, you popped in this quote that Ryan Condal gave to IGN in an interview that I believe dropped this morning, but where he's talking about the sort of economy of characters.
Yeah.
But he said, in addition to other things, Game of Thrones and Westerosian kind of way to reap the consequences of having her wish come true about Rhaena.
Yeah.
I was thinking so much about Sansa in this moment. Sansa who's like, I'm going to marry Joffrey and I'm going to be a princess, or Bran, these young characters in A Song of Ice and Fire who have these romantic ideas of what it means to be a knight or what it means to be a princess. And for Rhaena, what it means to be a dragon rider. I will be a dragon rider, and then I will be recognized by my father and embraced in my family and taken seriously, and they'll look at me the way they look at Bela and all this sort of stuff like that. And then this absolute fucking disaster at the Gullet. So
yes, we will talk about the Gullet more obviously at the end of the episode, but I think it is a thematically very rich choice to have Rhaena be in that position, and in general choosing to make the Gullet more of a family affair. But before we get there, we kind of like open the episode with a couple other just glimpses of characters, right? So Aemond pulls Orwyle out of bed, takes him right to the chopping block, Blackfire in hand. He's about to behead him.
Yeah. Ed, fetch me the block.
Exactly. First good and useful thing Ironrod has ever done.
Yeah.
Calling out, he's like, Larys, it's entirely possible. It's like, Larys is also gone. And Aemond's like, okay, so Larys is the one who helped Aegon escape. Here's the thing.
Orwyle, he's been doing some stuff.
He's been up to some shit, Joanna. And so how long now does Aemond, has he escaped Aemond's suspicion, right? Like, does this buy him major time? He helped Alicent get to Dragonstone, for example. He was working with Larys to help Aegon with his walking lessons, so that they could prepare to flee.
Yeah.
So this is just a fascinating, like, little, very quick scene that kind of reminds us who's been in cahoots with whom about what for how long. Everybody has their secrets. Who's been cahooting? It's also just a nice way, before we get the very, very good close-up of the hand on Blackfire as Aemond is sitting on the throne. It's a good way to remind us he's got the ancestral Valyrian steel sword, Blackfire. He has the cat's paw dagger. He's able to sit on the Iron Throne. You know what he doesn't have? The crown, because that is with our besties.
Our besties?
Aegon and Larys on the surprise duo, like they worked their way into our hearts in a way that we couldn't expect. Yeah. Where are it's Aegon and Larys and Criston and Gwayne for you compared to like the iconic?
It's Jaime and Brienne, and then it's Aegon and Larys.
I was just kidding. I mean, anyone watching would believe you if you said that was realistic. It's completely plausible. Larys is like your favorite character in the show.
He's great in this episode.
Fantastic.
Let's be real. I love, so Aegon's going through the DTs, right? He's like going through Milk of the Poppy withdrawal. He's also in like,
this killed me. This was so funny.
So when I had surgery last year, my beloved friends who came to the hospital and like drove me home, love them forever, respect them forever. They did take the most potholiest road home. Their idea was to avoid the freeway because they thought it would like jostle me less. And then they took back roads that were just like And I just like really felt like Aegon in the carriage where you're just sort of like being jostled at every second and you're just like in tremendous amount of pain.
Is that a setting on like Apple or Google Maps or Waze?
Potholius?
Yeah.
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 And they're like, that's the
avoid
one.
freeways, avoid potholes.
Yeah.
Probably not possible here in California, ultimately. I found this scene very amusing.
I loved this because Aegon's like, I'm nothing.
Yeah.
I'm a cripple. And Larys is like, hello.
I know. I thought that was fascinating.
Who just helped you escape? It's me.
And then the fact that he said a cripple for a protector, I was trying to like look at Larys's face and see how much he revealed in that moment, because some of our highlights of season 2 were those really raw, vulnerable moments between them. I mean, Larys flat out like breaking down in tears. They will underestimate you, right? And this
wear it like
your
armor.
Advantage. The wear it like armor, cripples, bastards, and broken things bond that really organically emerged between the two of them. This felt like Aegon. It's more on Larys' side, obviously.
Well, but also I think Larys was manipulated. Like
for sure, for sure. Absolutely.
We talked about this at the time, that there were like layers here, but Larys is definitely like weaving a spell of like, we're not so different, you and I.
No question.
You can have a different life, the two of us together on the road, on your raven shit throne. But like, but there was authenticity there.
Yeah.
So but what I love about Larys,
go ahead.
Why he's the best.
Enumerate the ways.
Is he's hurt.
Yes.
He masks it very quickly.
Quite well.
Because he's a consummate manipulator.
He is.
You know, it's like him and Alicent trying to mask her disgust over Aemond kissing her so that he doesn't see.
Yeah, one of them did a better job of controlling the facial expressions.
For Alicent, that was for the camera. You know, I don't think Aemond saw it. That was for us, you know.
It was.
But I love this. And then, so then the Staunton men stop the wagon, right? Lords of Rook's Rest. So we're right by Rook's Rest, as they mentioned.
Made it a little weird that they were like, "Where's the closest port, Duskendale?" Given that like a fairly memorable stretch of season 2 was Criston Cole's march from those locations to one after the other. Anyway,
and this is fantastic.
Where's the planning between these two? This is what I wanted to ask you. I know it's a stressful time.
Yeah.
Were you getting some like, Jon and Sansa, you couldn't have a pre-meeting?
Just one.
Really? No one could toss any bullet points into a Google Doc. No one? Now, Larys...
love a meeting.
Larys didn't have time to grab the milk of the poppy. Fine. They're in the wagon on the Raven shit throne.
Do you think
what are they talking about?
Do you think Larys actually didn't have time to grab milk of the poppy?
No, I think I like the idea that he is doing this on purpose so that Aegon is in anguish and thus more reliant on him,
but also more clear-headed than he was in milk.
That's
like
right.
Both.
The fog, the fog of the milk.
More reliant on Larys, but also theoretically sharper, though not very sharp in this exchange here.
I can't say he seems to be super lucid when like all he has to do is bow and say, I'm for Rhaenyra, just for 30 seconds. And I get it. It would be galling if you were Aegon to have to do that, but you could have done it. You also could have shaved your head. You could have. Now, he hasn't had the advantage that we have had of watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and knowing that really does work.
I would recommend it, though. It's a great sit.
I mean, if your cock is going to explode like a sausage on a spit, at that point, just say goodbye to the golden locks as well.
Absolutely.
Just say goodbye to all of it. Go incognito, my guy. Come on. Like, where's on the run?
The alacrity with which Larys just gives up the crown is among the funniest things that I've seen.
Absolutely
He's
incredible.
Like, oh, this thing?
And Aegon's like, no.
What?
No. When Larys reveals his identity and Aegon's like, what? And then the crown. No, I was in tears laughing.
Are those guys
hard.
important? No. Beheaded. Like, it's just like.
Did you have a moment on that front as a Larys lover where you were like, boy, that is like a good, wow, what a monster. He doesn't care about those guys for a second. Or have you seen, he burned his own father and brother a year unfazed?
Hold my hand. Loving someone means accepting their flaws. Right?
Murderers,
and I know,
are welcome.
You love Daemon.
I do.
So let's all just be honest about what we're willing to accept.
What's wrong with us?
I take the good with the bad. I take the creepy foot fetish and the patricide and whatever it's called, fratricide.
No
with the quick
king
thinking
shaming here at the House of R. No king shaming.
Quick thinking.
Yes. So
what got themselves out of a sticky spot.
What do you
temporarily?
Read? Temporarily. So what do you read in the Larys plan here? Is it
It's whatever it takes to survive to the next day.
I am biding time until I can figure out what's next. Yeah. Yeah. And he trusts his own intellect, frankly, reasonably, to be able to figure out
Yeah.
what comes next when it comes.
But I also just like this is just like an incredibly precious, important crown. And it's just sort of like
Insane.
There you go.
Just absolutely insane to let this random captain of
The
House
Stauntons.
Staunton handle Aegon the Conqueror's crown. Frankly, how dare they? The next glimpse we get is Rhaenyra sharing the news of Alicent's visit. It goes as well as we would have expected. I also just love we've like tracked this across the seasons. There are so many incredible, I mean, in general, the show's beautifully shot. And some of the Rhaenyra framings, in particular, like some of the close framings we've gotten of like the glint on the eye, etc. This was looking out the window, up into the sky, talking about belief. I have to believe. And this is something where we're different context here. We're talking about I have to believe in Alicent, the word, the bond, the reasons behind it. But with Rhaenyra, we're always clocking any mention of belief from a character who was like, the prophecy justifies this. Yeah. The outcome of the sowing sanctions that, right? This is like an aura around the character that is important for us.
I was thinking a lot also about when Criston, when Gwayne's like, hey man, where's Aemond? What's happening?
Yep.
And Criston's like, he will come. He has to come. You know, and so there's that belief too.
Yep.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing for me to think about. Like Criston Cole's state of mind and what he like what he's putting stock in at this point.
Yeah.
And he's like, we didn't bro out by the firelight night after night at King's Landing for him not to show up for me. Is it the bro bond or like what is
I think given the fracture that emerged between them after Rook's Rest, what Criston understood transpired in a way that very few people understand. And the way that Aemond then cast him out, like the Harrenhal pursuit was as much about getting Criston out of there and like punishing him as anything else. So I think the question of whether Criston, who in general, as we'll talk about, is in just a state of shattered faith, right? All of these things that I put stock in are just like the bodies around me after Rook's Rest. Dust in the wind, right? So the nihilistic view. And so I think it's almost like, it felt to me less like believing in the pledge of their bond and more like what I understand to be true about Aemond is that he will not be able to, he can't help himself. He's going to seek Daemon out.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that explanation.
And even though we then get this other interesting insight into what actually happens there, that's from Criston's perspective what I saw. Jace receives the Alicent news by saying flat out, this is a trap. Now, there is a trap coming, but not actually Alicent's intention.
Right. And, you know, Rook's Rest is fresh on our mind. We lost a very important dragon, a dragon rider at Rook's Rest, and that was a trap.
It was. So I think Jace does a lot of unreasonable shit in this episode. Being suspicious of this is, I think, actually quite reasonable. We're not going to defend Jace a lot from here.
Yep.
But
yeah, sure. Let's give it to him while we can. Why not?
And did you see the jawline when he said it's a trap? Did you see the jawline? Did you see the hair? My goodness.
Sure.
Rhaenyra tells her small council, I thought this was fascinating. She tells her small council, the Greens know their defeat is written. Joanna, that is not what happened. That is not what Alicent said to her.
Hard to remember what was said.
It's been mere hours for these
2
characters.
years. Who knows what Alyn's childhood was like, and who knows what Alicent said in the finale.
As you know, that drove me crazy, and I'm still puzzled by it. The crown will pursue war and victory at any cost.
Well,
that is what Alicent said.
But does she believe that? I don't know. Like, here's the thing about, like, why does Alicent want out in this moment?
Yeah.
You know, bathtubs of the world call to her, for sure. Who among us? Second podcast this week, we're talking about baths.
Won't be the last.
Nope. Okay. So there's that. There's like, I want to protect Helena.
Yes.
My one.
Yes.
Well, Darren's also allegedly a good child, but like my one girl child that I care about or whatever.
My
granddaughter, the female line, I care, blah, blah, blah. I got kicked out of the small council. No one will listen to me. I thought I could rule from, you know, soft power from behind, blah, blah, blah. Hot.
Phrasing.
But,
whoa.
But she, and I would say Criston Cole both found out where the ceiling was on upward advancement for women, for the lower born, you know, et cetera. So she's like, oh, you know, it's that Rhaenys quote, right, about like, found a window in the prison, like sort of thing, you know? And so like, so that's part of it. Her own frustrated ambitions, her own, you know, like found the limit, found the walls of the prison.
Yeah.
doesn't want any more carnage.
Right. That wants an end to the bloodshed.
that
I believe
real?
that. I believe that. I think because if it's not real, then it makes Alicent an irredeemable monster.
Yeah.
Right?
So, like, I lost a grandson. I'd rather not lose.
Yeah. I think
anymore.
that the characters who find themselves in a place of finding the violence, and especially at the end of this episode, because one of the lessons of the Gullet is like, and we had a good conversation with Chris about this on Talk of Thrones, like, is there such a thing as a victor, right? And that is part of the point of this story, right?
Yeah,
the cost of
literally in the
dragon
text,
war, yeah, that's like very central to the story. The characters who look at the toll and justify it because the outcome is something that they believe is either right for them, or in the case of like the looming specter of the prophecy, necessary,
Right.
then you can make that calculus, and what that says about your morality is interesting. If Alicent is just like, I don't care if all these people die, then I don't think that's the character that we have grown to really feel so deeply invested in.
I agree. I just think, as with the Larys thing, there's just like 9 different reasons.
For sure.
You know, and I think when she says the crown will pursue war, I think she might, Aemond will, or Aegon will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like,
yes, for sure.
At the end of the day, I don't know. And I think what's interesting is to think about what is Criston's reaction to, the two of them were like, reap, right? That's where they found themselves, right?
Yes.
And Criston's reaction's like, we'll all be beasts before this is over.
For the end, yeah.
And Alicent's like, can I write enough scrolls and kiss enough sons and scheme enough schemes to at least get 2 people that I care of out of danger as along with myself?
I think all of it from Alicent's perspective makes perfect sense as a pursuit, as a framing. Basically, like, she didn't tell Rhaenyra about like the Triarchy, and she knows that Aemond wanted to secure the Triarchy because she was one of the characters who tried to talk him out of it. Mostly, she was forthright with Rhaenyra about the overall state of play and her intentions and personal motivations. She's not going to be able to follow through on that because of what she'll find back at the Red Keep.
Tough.
Great wrinkle, right? The thing I was interested in is what Rhaenyra heard and received. Like the idea that, because Rhaenyra's counselors and sons saying like, can you believe her? Can you trust her? Overall, obviously, especially given that Rhaenyra's own son and Queensguard will like lock her in her bedroom and imprison her. This like
hot take, not great,
not ideal. How often are the men and the people who claim to support me and bent the knee and said that I am the rightful heir? What is it actually going to look like for them to follow through on that in real life? Like, I think in general, Rhaenyra saying I have the conviction and clarity of being able to say I know what is right. That all makes sense to me. I think that it feels a little bit in an interesting dramatic way of a piece with Rhaenyra, like, okay, she's receiving this as the Greens overall know they've lost, which is not what, to your point,
definitely
not what Aemond is going to do, not what Aegon is going to do.
No, Aemond's like, we got a bunch of Hightower men.
Not what the Hightowers are going to do, not what Darren. Like, so, to put, it's too much stock being put in the idea that this like sense of one thing working out, one person coming to me, a pledge made, I'm chosen, I have to believe, means that everything will actually work out.
It's interesting because we're watching it and we know that Rhaenyra is telling the truth and Alicent, to the best of her ability, is telling the truth.
Yes.
So we're like, believe women, right?
Yeah.
But if we're Jace or even Mysaria, not those fuckers in the Black Council. Like,
no, they can eat shit.
They can eat shit and die, honestly.
Celtigar, can eat shit.
Celtigar, fuck off. But Jace, I'm like, I get why he's unsure.
Yeah.
And that's fine to have a conversation.
Yeah.
To lock her in the room. I know
not
you're not. No one's justifying that. But
not
like, we're not going to do that to Aegon or Aemond, even at their ravingest.
For sure.
It doesn't happen to men.
What did you make of
it happens to moms?
Put that on the merch. My God. Well, what did you make of Mysaria's reaction? The way, like, kind of the look on her face, the way that she asked if Rhaenyra felt Alicent could be trusted. We've tracked over time Jace's jealousy in terms of Mysaria. This felt like this is something to watch in terms of Mysaria seeing in a really undeniable way the hold that Alicent has over Rhaenyra. Yeah.
And she's like, no, I'm the only sexy brunette you're allowed to think about. It's just me.
Rhaenyra's like, I'm going to write to Daemon, tell him to return with haste. We're going to fly to King's Landing in 2 days. We get a little clock there. Aemond, meanwhile, confronts Alicent. She returns back to the Red Keep in the cloak from the end of last season, hood up, and is summoned to the throne room by the king. And she starts to piece it together. It's like, well, that's not where I left
She's
Aegon.
like, did Aegon roll himself into the throne room? No. Viserys' way up to the
rehab
throne?
is going great
No.
for Aegon. She finds Aemond.
King is wild.
Yeah.
Him calling himself king. Though, do air math with me. He is next in line after Aegon. Right?
I mean, yeah.
There's no, in the books there, Aegon has
Another
male
heir.
heirs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here he does not.
Right.
And
Jaehaerys has
so-
been killed.
Yeah.
Blood and Cheese, Jaehaera. They can't prop up a female heir when
Not
the
at
whole
this
challenge to Rhaenyra's claim is
Not when our
she's
whole
a woman.
platform is
Yeah.
misogyny. So like, so in the book, he's Lord Protector, right?
Yeah, and they've yes,
A
he is
regent. And so here he's claiming
regent.
to be king, which is, it's not just like a more audacious Aemon, which it is,
Mhm.
but it's actually the air math is different here. There are not
Yes, right.
sons in the way. If Aegon is definitely
Yes.
abdicated or
That's
is
right.
dead or whatever, I am king.
That's right.
Which would not be the case with and this is something that George R. R. Martin was like, excuse me.
He had some notes and some blogs.
Where's Baelor?
He had some notes and some blogs,
Yeah.
folks. Yeah, that is a great distinction, a great call. And like this is for show, Aemond. While he's in quite an emotional state, and we'll talk about that more as we get to the later Alicent scene, he's kind of wanted this the whole time, right? We think back to the infamous dumb little hats stretch of the penultimate episode of season 1. Aemond and Criston frolicking about King's Landing. Criston in his little cap. And Aemond was like, I'm the one who studies, who flies the biggest dragon, who knows how, like, I should be king,
I'm
right?
so hot. Have you seen my jawline? My hair
Look at
is
this
flat
hair!
ironed under the scalp.
I don't have any flyaways. I'm ready to be on a video podcast.
Yeah.
Burned Aegon at Rook's Rest.
You know what? He did do that.
Helena finds him in episode 5 of season 2, standing in the throne room looking up at the throne, right? Was it worth the price? We know he's wanted to sit there. When you actually saw him sitting there, a lonely figure in the shadows and the deep of the throne room as Alicent walks in, which comp was more top of mind for you? Because we also get the Blackfire close-up of his hand on the blade, and I kind of like, I'm propping myself up with this. That's Viserys imagery. But holy shit, the gall to sit on that chair.
That's Daemon.
That's Daemon, who has always been the mirror.
I was also thinking about Jaime Lannister.
Tell me. Yes.
Jaime Lannister
Love
killed
this.
the Mad King Aerys and then sat his tush on the Iron Throne.
It went great. It went over great with Ned Stark.
Ned loved it.
Went over great with Ned Stark. He had no feedback.
Ned loved it. But Daemon is most top of mind. And of course, like there's just forever the parallels between Aemon and Daemon. As we've mentioned before, you just move the D to the end of Daemon's name and it's Aemond. Like George is not being coy about this one.
Yes.
But they're forever like twin flames. And like as much as Aemond like hates Daemon, wants to be Daemon, all this sort of stuff. So yes, when we met Daemon in season 1,
right,
when Rhaenyra walks into the throne and he's just sitting on the throne and she's like, what the fuck? And he's like, I got you a necklace and later we'll be married. And Aemon's like, I too could marry a relative if I tried.
Yep.
So
boy, now I'm flashing back to the olden House of our soundboard days and the gods be good that came from that very scene. Damn me. Wonderful stuff. This is a tough moment for Alicent.
Yeah.
Because she has found out couple complicated things at once.
Mm.
Aegon is not here, Joanna, and he's supposed to be because she did agree to let Rhaenyra kill him.
Yeah, it's kind of tough when you're like, yeah, you can kill my son. Oh, I lost my son. Oh, no.
I can't let you kill my son because he's not here.
My most important melty bargaining chip.
He does really. It's just like a candle.
Yeah.
A candle who still has his very distinct hair. Aemond is supposed to be gone along with Vhagar, the most fearsome beast in the realm. And guess what? They are here. So that's also
tough.
a problem. Alicent springs into action in I think a way we both found remarkable and really satisfying. A character who her early arc, her early journey was like, I always think of that moment with Otto when he was really challenging, like was this not like what you want to, were we not? And she's like, how could I have known, right? So much of her early life. And it's not that she was
doing Legos with old men.
And that was an incredible Lego set. Old Valeria, boy, beautiful. The way that she was used and deployed by Otto, etc. These moments of agency and action for Alicent are very rewarding and satisfying to watch. There is for her, too, a little bit of a recklessness, like impersonating the king in a letter to Ormund.
Oh,
like if you get caught doing that, you're fucked.
I love it, though, because like we've watched Alicent plot and scheme before, and scheme and plot.
And scheme and plot. Both.
She's done it through fashion.
That's right.
She's done it through wildly misinterpreting dying men's words, like all these things. She's made decisive choices before.
Yes.
Now she's doing it in long distance cahoots with Rhaenyra.
Right.
This is an agenda I can super get behind because I am team Rhaenyra.
Of course.
Because I'm not a weirdo.
Like Chris.
and for Alicent to be working, using all the tools that Otto gave her in his really shitty job of being a parent to help Rhaenyra now. I mean, she's helping herself.
Yes. But that's that's satisfying too.
By proxy, she's helping Rhaenyra, and I'm like,
fight for Rhaenyra in that relationship.
Are doing it for themselves.
For themselves.
Literally 5 years I've been trying to get him to say it correctly.
That's so good. That killed me yesterday. Incredible.
You can listen to 3 chaotic hours of the Big Pig Pod if you want to know. But will you be able to hear that part? I don't know, because I hear we're all cross-talking every
A lot of crosstalk. 7 people on one pod. It's a joy. It's a blast.
It's an honor. It is a gift.
It is an honor. She immediately gets to work here in this first conversation with Aemond by using the truth to spin a lie, which is brilliant, right? He's like, where were you?
Big bathtub.
I love a bath.
Yeah.
I love the lake. I was in the Kingswood, Aemond. But the next thing she says is, I found myself of little use here of late, which for Aemond is a very believable cover story because it is born out of his withering dismissal of her. In season 2, episode 6, remind me of your place on the small council. You serve the realm well at a time of need. That is ended. I release you of your seat, such as it was. So the thing that he did to her to make her feel small, the mother who all he ever wanted was her affirmation and love. Wonder if that'll come back into play in this episode. She's knows using this is going to work
manipulate him
because they're actions that he took. This was great.
It's fantastic. And also so the question of what Alicent's plan was is really interesting because she did only give up. She said you can kill Aegon, but Rhaenyra also has to kill Aemond because he's
for sure.
In line.
Yeah.
And Darren.
Right.
In theory, because he's in line.
Right.
etc. So she's not just giving up Aegon.
No, she is offering Aegon on a silver platter. I will let you in and hand
also,
you him in his sickbed.
Sending Aemond off to Harrenhal, which she flagged to Rhaenyra, and Rhaenyra has sent maybe not her finest, but 3 dragon riders that away, and Daemon's also over there. So she's
into the jaws of death.
Hey, baby, give me a kiss and go die.
Go die. No, no question. No
100%.
Question. Absolutely. He is going to have to be compelled because he says here, Aegon's left me no choice. I have to stay and defend the city, which is actually correct and the wise right read. It's also correct what Alicent says later that Rhaenyra is going to bring many dragons and things could go very poorly there. But it is not the right decision to leave the city, to leave King's Landing, the Red Keep, dragonless and defenseless. Not the right decision.
Dreamfire's got it. Don't worry.
Dreamfire is on it. On it. We do have another group of warriors entering the fold here, and this is a thrill for us. The Winter Wolves are here. We love them. We get to meet them in the show. It couldn't be better. Daemon is armored and covered in blood.
I love this because he could have just stayed on Caraxes and roasted people, but he's I love blood. And
Loves
did you I know you watched the House of Dragons build. Matt Smith's What I wanted this season was a lot more violence than they gave to him. By the way, his interview that he gave in that behind the scenes that they do, he's wearing a fantastic wig that I cannot wait to see. It is like really resplendent and wavy and braided, and I'm really excited for it. This fight, which appears to be a combination of two battles, if we're reading this correctly, Battle of the Red Fork, plus the fish feed is sort of in there.
Yeah. So you don't think we're going to get more? You think this is just how we're kind of like getting the gist of it?
Yeah. And I'm not mad about this because we got 24 minutes of Gullet.
That's right.
And there are other Riverland, battles to be fought. Yes. So like, this reminds us of like the Battle of Burning Mill or Tyrion getting knocked out and missing the battle or whatever the case may be. It's like we just see the aftermath. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, Daemon's out here covered in blood. But we should say, if this is the fish feed, bloodiest day of the war.
Yeah.
Does it feel weird to yada, yada, yada over the bloodiest day of the war?
Is that why
you think we're still going to get fish feed?
I wonder if there's a possibility that there's more to come. But like, I don't know. I think it is a difficult balance to strike where like, the ability to show us all of these different showdowns on different parts of the map with different character sets is pretty tantalizing. And also, you don't actually want every episode to be a battle episode. You don't actually want that.
You don't want it from a storytelling point of view, and HBO doesn't want it because they want some dollars left in their coffers when the merger comes. So Bloodiest Day of the War. Black Alley is here vaguely in the background. We get to see her, but I'm really excited for that character.
Do I need to retire my Bloody Ben agenda? Is it official? Oscar Tully subbing in?
I think so.
Okay. I will say that's a bummer. And I have some questions about that we could talk about across the season. But I am an Oscar Tully fan, and I do like the way that he has really brought Daemon to heel. Obviously, he embarrassed him in front of the group.
We loved that.
Harrenhal in season 2 was very entertaining.
I think Daemon is a king shame.
I think it's entirely possible. And the way that this sequence goes, where he's like,
yes, daddy.
It's like, Caraxes will make quick work of them. And also, there will be no plague. And then Oscar's like, this is not our way. The Rivermen must be returned to the mud and demons.
I have a follow-up question to you.
Yeah.
What do you think Edmure and Hoster Tully would make of the idea that we don't burn our dead?
A great question. I think Edmure would be relieved given the trouble that he had.
Yeah, dump him in the mud.
I think Edmure would be thrilled.
Listen, customs change. It's been a while.
So
perhaps at a time it was we turn them to the mud, and then they're like, it'd be sick.
Let's light some boats on fire.
Yeah, let's light some fucking boats on fire with an arrow.
You know what else is fucking sick?
The Winterwolves.
Joanna, tell me all about it.
They're here. God. Roddy the Ruin.
Yeah.
Roderick Dustin, Lord of Barrowtown. He's got a really cool sigil spotting. He's got a really cool crossed axe sigil. The Winterwolves show up. This is a passage from Fire, and we've come to die for the Dragon Queen. Here is...
I just want to say again that you could not have been more right when you said, where is this in the early... Like, this should have been like the opening in the first... Because when it comes in the episode, you're like, oh, iconic character. People would have been like for the last 3 months.
And it happens
waiting
so early. It's not like we had to like wait for it. It's in the first episode. So it's not like we would have been, it's just sort of like, put that in the fucking trailer. We've come to die for the Dragon Queen. Okay, from Fire and Blood.
Yes.
2,000 savage Northmen flying Queen Rhaenyra's quartered banners. At their head rode the Lord of Barrowtown, Roderick Dustin, a warrior so old and hoary, men called him Roddy the Ruin. His host was made up of grizzled graybeards, an old male, and ragged skins. Every man a seasoned warrior, every man a horse. On a horse, not a horse, but like a horse,
Thank you for clarifying.
On horseback.
That the men are not also horses. Thank you.
They call themselves the Winterwolves.
Some people are visual learners, so that was helpful.
They call themselves the Winterwolves. I was just trying to help the closed captioning in case it wanted some help. AI, don't say I never gave you anything. Okay, they called themselves the Winterwolves. We have come to die for the Dragon Queen, Lord Roderick announced at the Twins when Lady Sabbath Frey rode out to greet them. Okay.
So good.
The thing about the Winterwolves is like this. So the Stark custom is sometimes the Greybeards go out with the intention to die.
Correct.
Because there's too many mouths to feed. And they're like, you know what? We're old.
Yeah.
We're going to go die. So when he says, we've come to die for the Dragon Queen, it's not like, maybe we'll die, maybe we'll live.
We're here
it's
to
like,
fight. We'll see how it goes, but we hope to go back north.
Yeah.
No.
We've come to die.
Commitment.
And I'm thinking
Commitment.
about that, thinking about we've come to die for the Dragon Queen. I'm sorry, I want to do it the accent every time, but
I think you should. I think you should commit right now to doing it in the accent the whole time.
comparing we've come to die for the Dragon Queen to Criston Cole's nihilism, which is like he's pretty much resigned to dying out here in the Riverlands as well, but with different levels of enthusiasm. Energy. You know what I mean?
Different energy.
Yeah. And if I were to pick one to lead me, I'd say it's Tommy Flanagan as Roddy the Ruin. And dare I say, in the House the Dragons built.
Yeah.
Listening to Matt Smith be like, Tommy Flanagan's here.
Yeah.
I fucking love him.
That
and then he was
exciting.
like, this is my favorite character of this. You know, it's just like, he loves Tommy Flanagan. We love Tommy Flanagan.
Yes.
Sons of Anarchy, The Gladiator. I don't know, pick your poison. A pretty shoddy season of Westworld. Whatever you care about, Tommy Flanagan elevates it. And I'm so excited he's here.
I'm really hyped. We will hit a couple things in the book spoiler section that we're looking forward to with this character. It's good to have him here. I said we weren't going to have a lot of positive things to say about Jace, but here's one more. Yeah. Let's just remind everyone, because it's been 2 years. The Winter Wolves are here because of Jace. He
flirted with Craig and Stark.
They had an energy between them.
They did.
There was a spark. Palpable. Sarah Snow didn't make the show, but Craig and Stark.
Palpable.
Oh, yeah. Jace secured the Vale. He secured the North, and then he secured the Crossing. He secured the Twins so that the Wolves, an army that he got for Team Black, could actually make it to the Riverlands. The Pact of Ice and Fire is why these characters are here. That is to Jace's credit. I think the fact that Jace has confused that with being ready to wage dragon war on the front lines is obviously a tragic outcome.
At the time.
But he had a feel for diplomacy.
At the time, we compared, and Rhaenyra does not compare favorably, his tour of Westeros with Rhaenyra's. If you remember, Rhaenyra on her betrothal tour was just sort of like, hey, fuckos.
Yeah.
You're too ugly. I don't want to marry you. You know, like that was essentially her energy as she went around. And she was
also
just like,
a little, you're too old. I don't want to marry you.
You're too old. You know, I don't want to get married. Like, whatever. Like, I support Rhaenyra, but also diplomacy, never her strong suit. No. And to Rhaenyra's credit, she sends Jace to do this. You know what I mean? So, like, if you can understand what tools you have in your toolkit, and if Jace could just know his place, which is on the diplomacy trail, and he's quite good at it.
Yeah.
He can flirt with Freys. He can flirt with Starks.
He sure can.
He cannot smooch his own betrothal before they go to die, but you know.
Do you think Jace died a virgin, or you think they've been fucking?
I don't know.
It's been on my mind.
He had more energy with Craig than he did with Vale. Vale deserves better. Vale deserves a hot guy who also wants to at least smooch her before they go to die on the Gullet.
It's true. I think the fact that Jace was so accomplished in terms of alliance building obviously then exacerbates his frustration. Why won't you pick me for more? From Rhaenyra's perspective, it's like, I want to keep you safe. I don't want you to die. That's why. It's a very rich text between the two of them that leads to just an incredibly tragic place. Speaking of tragic, Criston, Gwayne, Philosophy 101. It's just wonderful to watch these two. Every scene is perfect. I just still can't believe this is the outcome.
Yeah.
This is a book character who obviously we spent a lot of time like deriding, and to watch the journey.
Hated him.
To watch the journey that Criston has been on. Our broody boys still in the woods.
They're camping. A lot of people, you know,
Alicent
Alicent pretended to camp.
Yeah.
Gwayne and Criston are camping. Ulf's like, fuck camping.
No,
I would rather not. I would rather not. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
When you saw Criston Cole painting his shield, and I know you have a lot of really brilliant things to say about this, what were you thinking about Tencel too tall? Not too tall.
For me.
For kissing?
Yeah, for kissing. It's crazy. It's obviously about blowjobs. I can't believe it.
We have to ask. Who do we have to ask? George R. Martin. George R. Martin.
George, come on the pod. We know you're questions to ask you about sucking dick. Oh God. You know what I actually was? I wasn't. Now I wish I had been thinking about Tencel Too Tall. I was actually thinking about Survivor, and it gave me real going back to camp and painting like the tribe flag after you didn't win immunity and you needed to. Like, let me lean into some arts and crafts projects because everything is falling apart around me. It gave me that kind of energy. But, anytime we can bring up something puppet adjacent, I think we should.
Anytime you can bring up Survivor, I think you should.
Great.
One of our listeners did ask, like, in terms of the rope that takes Vermax down.
Yeah.
They're like, could Vermax not have turned
He tried.
and breathe fire onto the thing?
Oh, fire-making challenge.
Fire-making
'Cause he
challenge.
Tried to he tried to bite it.
Yeah.
And it was like
Yeah. Breathe a little fire. Fire-making challenge. Snap that twine.
You know what? That's one of those things that I almost wish I hadn't heard because it just sort of all
falls apart.
Once you know that, it's like, cool, he is a dragon. That's a quick, strong flame that you don't even need to worry about the husk and the flint and the
and the stiff wind.
I'd say it's feedback to share, but they're dead. So it's not going to do them any good now.
All right, what do you want to say about Criston's paint by numbers, arts and craft girly era?
I loved this.
Yeah, it's great.
So Criston is painting on his shield his family crest, the sigil of House Cole. We saw this at the very beginning of the show in the, we thought, iconic Gods, he's a Daunish stretch of the story.
Daunish.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Simpler times.
Allison's back in her blues. Back in her blue dresses.
Yeah.
Gods, he's Daunish.
What do you like more in this show? Wig watch or like hue watch? Not
Hugh Hammer,
but the hue of the garb.
Not a horse, but a horse.
not men are not literally horses. They're just riding them. Incredible moment.
I think you know it's wigs.
It is wigs. Yeah, it's got to be wigs.
But I
for
think
you.
tracking Allison's fashion choices has been fun.
It has been.
You know who's really fun this episode?
Tell me.
Ormond. His
That
armor
is resplendent.
Like all of the religious iconography that's in that armor, very exciting.
In general, great armor in this episode, but that was a very rich flex. Bold John has some cool armor.
Yeah.
Thailand has some good armor. It's gonna not work out super well for him. How heavy is that armor?
Yeah. Alyn got his armor off with a quickness.
Yep. Yeah. Corlys' armor is really great too. I like the incorporation of the hand of the queen.
Yeah.
That's a good stuff. Armor's great.
Yeah. But I think if you're gonna be a sailor and have armor, I think quick release is
important.
Is important. I don't think Thailand got that memo.
My whole plan is to not wind up in the drink. So boastful. Tough one. The sigil painting. Criston has been like obsessed with and defined by, I would say, the stock that he puts in the symbol of the station he rose to, right?
White cloak.
The white cloak of the Kingsguard. We can think of that harrowing and great fight that he and Rhaenyra had midway through season 1. He was like, cinnamon? Oranges?
Oranges.
And she was like, I am the crown.
The throne?
I am the crown. You
Oranges
dumb
or the
fuck.
throne? I don't know.
Criston, we know you're hot, but come on.
She's like, I can have a Dornishment a day when I sit on the throne. Not to mention an orange. What are you talking about? I've never heard you make that sound.
Oh my God, Criston, you dumb fuck. Oh man. Incredible. Oh, what a memory. What a moment.
When he got all up the ass of one of the Cargill twins, being like, there's mud on your cloak.
Yes, soil, right? So he said the white cloak is a symbol of our purity. That was what he said to show some respect. Arik with an A. One of the Cargill twins.
I made the decision to let that information go from my brain. They're dead. I'd say it's a good note to give, but they're dead. So
they were on my mind this episode.
Eric and Arik.
Can I tell you why? It's not relevant to what we're talking about here, but there is a canonically established second door in Rhaenyra's bedroom.
No, I know. We got some emails about this.
No one even tried to open it. Now, it was locked during Cargill Bowl, so maybe it stays locked. And at that point, I would say, why is it there? Just make it a wall. I don't know.
When is a door not a door? When it's a wall?
Should Rhaenyra have like summoned Cyrax and jumped out a window?
Yes. Or to like burn someone.
To do that too. I just meant to escape. But you're always thinking about murder. This show brings out something dark in you.
Listen.
He's also
she does have a second door. Do you think
Yeah.
she battered and splintered her hands on both doors or just the one?
I hope both, because if we didn't even try the back door, that would be frustrating and puzzling.
Yeah.
Criston has also tried to worked hard to distance himself from that more humble
Mhm.
beginning, right? And it's something that in moments of another character trying to remind him
Yes.
of his relative standing and station, it has come up, right? So Gawain, when he showed up in King's Landing and had been on the march, finally arrives and he's like, you replaced my dad as Hand of the King. What the fuck? One of the things he said to him is, and by a man from such modest beginnings, what a giddying ascent the gods have bestowed on you. They have their whole bond and their beautiful bromance. End of season 2, it's still coming up. Steward's son from Dorne, fucking the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Like, this is a wound and a source of insecurity for Criston. So for him in this place of shattered faith after Rook's Rest, being reminded that men are nothing in the face of dragons and dragon war and dragonfire, to lean into the reminder of the humble man is such a deliberate and intentional character beat that I thought told us so much so quickly. It made me think of in that season 2 finale conversation and scene when Criston was like, I have no philosophy. And then he holds a sword, right? He says, or rather, my philosophy was past tense, to protect the righteous and dispense justice on the rest. But now you saw what I saw. The dragons dance and men are like dust under their feet. And all our fine thoughts, all our endeavors are as nothing. And then that's when he's like, to die would be kind of a relief, don't you think?
I was thinking, it's funny.
Man.
So I was thinking about, because we're in this nihilist, love that. Love you. Love when you apply your brilliant mind.
I love
to
you.
things.
I love you.
I was thinking in this sort of like nihilistic section of the plot that we found ourselves in, I was thinking about Beckett as a playwright and a nihilist.
Yeah.
And there's this Beckett quote. I always love this Beckett quote when he says, no, I regret nothing. All I regret is having been born. Dying is such a long, tiresome business I always found. You know, and it's just sort of like, that's so Criston Cole right now.
Yes.
Dying is such a long, tiresome business I always found. Oh, someone's doing a rape? Hang them.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you wish Gwayne had been like, stop raping a la Dunk?
Yeah, I do.
Stop.
I do. I wish she had done that, and I wish I had thought of Denzel. Yeah. Any Knight of the Seven Kingdoms connection we can make is welcome at all times. Yeah.
Oh my
man.
God.
Yeah, Criston is not really vibing with Gawain's like the men need a speech, right? They need a reminder, they need a lesson that we are
like,
not beasts. Criston's like, we are.
Gwayne's like, have you met Ormund Hightower? I should be, like Gwayne wanted to like sleep in inns.
That's right.
He's a fancy man.
Yes.
And Ormund with his pomander, as you and I both independently found out is the name of the thing that
never knew.
Just the orderly the orderly way in which we find Ormund Hightower's camp. Every tent is like,
pristine.
Perfect and in parallel with each other. And it's just like, that's how the Hightowers travel. And Gwayne's like, I'm sleeping in the mud with these rapist fucks. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And Criston, should we do something? Like, we are knights,
Right.
soldiers of honor. And Criston's like,
you're their Lord Commander.
Criston's like, I got bad news for you. We're beasts, actually.
It's incredible because Criston, he was never a fancy lad of House Hightower. He was never rich, but like.
He did say every woman is the image of the mother.
Sure, boy, did he. He sure did, with an incredible cadence in the speech when he delivered that line. Wonderful. You orient your entire identity and worldview around being a symbol and champion of the house that you think represents order and righteousness, divine righteousness, right?
Or are you talking about
Criston, and then
and like the White Cloak, or backing the Hightowers?
Becoming Alicent's champion, the way
well,
that
like,
he led the men out
he
to Rook's
did
Rest.
That was because he was like spurned by Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
there were like shitty
he can't even exist inside like the cocoon of his own self-deception anymore. It's I just like an incredible place to find him. Really is. All right, Joe.
Yeah,
other people are camping too.
Oh, who's that?
Adam.
Yeah,
and Sea Smoke.
Yeah,
Ulf and Silverwing.
Yeah,
Hugh and Vermithor. they're not at the Gullet.
No.
Why is that? Where are they?
Oh my gosh, they're on the banks of the God's Eye.
That's right.
They're in the lake right by Harrenhal. They're kind of like tucked around a corner,
yes.
I guess, so that Aemond could not see them approach.
Right. Close enough to attack?
Seemingly.
Far enough away to hide, even though
Alice knows exactly where they
Alice
are.
found them, because Alice rules.
Yeah. This was a really great section.
Loved.
A really great spotlight for my guy, Tom Bennett, who I absolutely have loved from the start. Hearing Ulf's backstory about, when he talks about he wished to die more days than not, never knew his mother, and this priest from Essos who abused him. And we talked about this on Talk of the Thrones. It made us think about Varys.
Yes.
Were you thinking about Melisandre and Gendry and the Dick Leeches?
I'm always thinking about Gendry and the Dick Leeches. King's blood, indeed.
Yes.
King's blood, indeed. I loved this beat from Ulf because it was surprising to get this different. We think of him as being so boisterous and showy.
Yeah, comic relief.
Yeah. What a different energy.
Yeah.
And you were so excited as soon as Ulf, we've been interested in the character joining the story, but because of the performer.
Yeah, Tom Bennett,
I love Tom Bennett.
Yeah.
So this was really fun to see this different beat.
What it really felt like to me is that he shows up in season 2 and he's funny and he's a little bit menacing at the banquet at the end of season 2. But I feel like they really saw what he could do and they wrote even more for him, another note for him to explore. So I thought that was really good. And to have him be should we get out of here?
Right.
And Adam be the very loyal, we should stay.
Quite.
And then Hugh sort of just, the swing vote in the middle. What do you think of that?
Hugh has a little bit of a journey. I love Adam not just saying this is what the queen told us to do, but what are you're gonna go back and tell her you're craven, you're afraid. Ulf, of course, is completely unapologetic about it, which is in general his vibe. More of those little birds, right? The ambition, that striving nature, very on Front Street for him. He's I want what I want.
Right.
So when he's when Alice, he's trying to take a shit. Interrupted
by a goat. Is that goat Alice?
Doesn't just spend time as a bar now.
I feel like she might be a goat. It could be.
Goat, or it's her goat, all caps, greatest of all time.
Yeah, goated. Yeah. Fargo goat. That she could be the goat, that it could be her familiar, something like that. But when we see the goat, Alice is usually not far behind. A real sort of Black Phillip, the Vivovich energy here.
I'm into that. I think that would be fun. I the continuing undeniable aspect of Alice's magic and how it's manifesting, and the continued mystery, including the question of what is her motivation exactly for appearing to them and saying, you're missing the battle, right? Now they don't make it back in time.
Right.
That, again, in an adaptive change, because they are all at the Battle of the Gullet in Fire and Blood. So that's different. We've made the Gullet more of a family affair. What do you make of Alice showing up to guide them in this fashion? What is the motivation here?
I like what you said on Talk the Thrones when you were talking about sort of Alice's concern for what would happen to the people around Harrenhal, or what would happen. I like this idea of her being the Lorax. She speaks for the trees. You know what I mean? She doesn't. If Aemond shows up on Vhagar and these 3 dragon riders fight Vhagar, they're going to torch all the land around Harrenhal. Right. And Alice cares about maybe the people there, but certainly about the weirwood trees that are around there.
You got to get the ingredients for the brain paste somewhere.
Yeah,
absolutely. The trips aren't going to come on their own.
So I think she's just get these dragons out of here.
I like that. I think that the fact that Hugh is kind of opens in a place of, all right, this is what we're supposed to do, builds toward, but for how long?
Yeah.
Now, I do have some feedback for them, which is it's only been a couple days.
They don't like to camp.
Not into camping.
No.
It's beautiful there. So
it's really just Alicent who likes to camp near as many bathtubs as she can find.
She loves a body of water. She would really love it here. Ulf, that conversation
what is
about,
the God's Eye if not the biggest bathtub?
It is a fucking gigantic bathtub.
Yeah.
That is there's room for Jaime, there's room for Brienne, there's room for Una, there's room for Owen, there's room for, I'm reading Everlasting, folks. There's room for everyone.
So good.
It's great. Ulf's wait, I don't get a castle?
Yeah.
I'm going to become a knight. I can't live in a title. I can't drink in a title. Hugh tries to tempt him with the women, right? The promise of women. I can get more women with a castle. we have removed them from the Gullet to center the Gullet around the characters we centered around, but we've also put them in this location to have these conversations for a reason. We're seeing something about all of them, right? So Adam is steadfast, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ulf is like,
Anyway the wind blows.
Need to get back to a privy that is more
and then he was
suited to me.
Undecided. He's an independent voter.
He was open.
Yeah.
He's open.
Also, we saw a green man for the second time.
We did. This was a big part of the reason that we thought this might be the Isle of Faces, because the Green Men are deeply associated with the canon of that place. However, we did see a Green Man
on the mainland. Damon's on one.
Damon's like, what the fuck is that?
It
By the werewood and
like
Harrenhal.
clip-clopped over. It's got little horns. It's like a little like satyr kind of figure.
Right.
Clinton Liberty, the actor who plays Adam, like posted selfies with the guy in the Green Man makeup. It was really cute.
Wonderful photo.
Yeah, he's like my guy.
He's a great Instagram follow.
Oh, Clinton Liberty.
Having the time of his life being on
Fantastic.
this show. It's
Big
great.
fan.
Wonderful. Alicent.
Yeah.
Writing that letter.
Mm-hmm.
Very Otto of her.
Mm-hmm.
He was always writing letters. Very Tywin of her. And Helena observes that her mother seems frightened, and then she connects this to, because Alicent is like, did you know? You of the prophetic dreams? Did you know that Aegon wasn't going to be here?
She doesn't believe in Helena's prophecies, right?
She's just like, bug girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
sweet
little addled, my sweet little addled bug girl, yeah.
Alicent, Helena says, after observing that Alicent seems frightened, that Aemond is frightened too.
Yeah.
Condell just co-signed this, as a sanction to this read on the inside the episode.
It's like, hashtag Helena was right.
Helena was right. Aemond is fucking scared. Scared. Thinks that these dragons, if Rhaenyra brought her dragons to King's Landing, that he would die. That's what Condell said on the inside the app. What do you make of that? Like, how do you think of Aemond in terms of fear? Do you think of Aemond as is Aemond's relationship to fear an evolution for you? Is it always present? Is it just a matter
he's forever that little boy?
Yeah.
And this has all been set deck, like all of this is a mask and a costume. The flat iron hair and the eye patch and the sapphire and like all of it is just sort of like him dressing himself up like Daemon, to just posture around and just be like, I am hot shit. Actually, no, I'm
scared.
Naked and curled up in the fetal position at the local brothel. That's where I am mentally all the time.
That scene was on my mind too, as really emblematic of the way that the fear can be worn like a mask, because we do see the real truth of it. Not only in the way he's curled up in that fetal position, which is so vulnerable and raw and bare, and also like you are a tiny boy cuddling up to the mom you want to fuck, but then the way he turns that into, I'm going to strut naked. You're here, you're making fun of me, you're mocking me, Aegon. I'm going to show you I'm not afraid. One of the things we've loved tracking over the seasons is the fact that Aemond doesn't wear armor. But one of the things that you pointed out in the trailers for this season is that he's suddenly wearing armor. So I love that idea that suddenly he's like, okay, I told myself I wasn't afraid, but I can't really tell myself that anymore. I need to cloak myself in more protection. Yeah. The way that at the end of season 2, he begged Helena to fly with him and she didn't. The glint of tears in his eyes as he realized how alone he was.
You're going to die at the God's Eye.
I mean, that was tough. Tough to hear.
And,
And now he's like, maybe I don't want to go to Harrenhal.
He's like, I got to stay here to defend the castle.
Aegon left me no choice.
Why would I go to Harrenhal?
He left me no choice.
Right by the God's Eye. Why would I do that?
Oh, man.
Yeah. And Helena, he believes in, like, because Helena's like, I know what you did at Rook's Rest, by the way.
Right. And he's like, what the fuck? But also, dragon dreams, all that does is validate Aemond's idea of Targaryen supremacy, right? Yeah. I think back to Sylvie telling him in that early season 2 scene in episode 2, like when he said to her, they used to tease me, and which is sad.
It's sad, but
is he responding in the right way? No, but it was sad. And the way that the warning that she issued about the people who really get hurt when princes misbehave, and then of course, all of it with, one of the prompts that Chris had for us on Talk the Thrones was like these bad sons and how Alicent and Rhaenyra are both reckoning with the way that their plans have been undone by we love that.
Chris was like, kids suck.
Like, oh God, great stuff. We love that Rhaenys note from the tourney at the very beginning of the show.
Men would sooner
balls full of seed and fists full of steel.
Yeah.
They can't wait to get out and fight, but then they're also afraid of dying. It's a very rich
What's
text.
the quote about like men would sooner see the realm burn than put a woman on the Iron Throne?
On the Iron Throne.
Yeah.
To young Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, also that was also true. Bernice.
Prophet.
Good stuff. Miss her. Alicent sends Sir Soren, directs him to send his fastest rider to deliver this letter. Folded immaculately, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful technique with the little tab to put the wax
Great
over.
seal.
Loved that.
And by fastest rider, he's like, my dirtiest, smelliest rider? Got it.
He's fast because he did not stop to bathe.
Or
possibly did not stop to to dig a hole in the ground to shit in.
Just shit himself.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. And it's going to go over fine with Ormund. Before we meet Ormund, we spent some time with Corlys and Alyn in the captain's cabin on the renamed, no longer sea stake, now the queen who never was. And Corlys just wants to share a drink with his son. Some dragon water. Goes down smooth from
now that he's like burned through a bunch of other heirs. He's like, hey, I'm a man. And then even went to Vale and was like, you?
She's like, I'm fire and blood.
She's like, no.
Sorry.
So he's like,
you need salt and sea.
You're
salt and sea.
I've worked my way all the way down the list. Laenor's dead. Rhaena's dead. Like.
It's tough.
It's tough.
The heirs are dropping like flies. This was another bit of hubris here, I thought, from Corlys when he called Rhaenyra's advantage absolute. Like, the sowing was massive, obviously, getting the Rivermen on their side, massive. This Alicent pledge, which obviously Corlys is not in the room for, but word has reached him of the intention based on that, big. But they don't know about the Triarchy. They're going to learn in 30 seconds, but they don't know yet. They aren't putting any stock in the 15,000 troop Hightower army or that dragon. That's a giant fuck. I thought the overhead shot of the camp was super effective to remind us how big that army is.
And like there's
just like no like what else could go wrong consideration. None.
I mean, I think it's interesting because the show sometimes likes to hide from numbers. Like, we read that quote about the Winter Wolves, and it's like obviously that's not how many Winter Wolves are in this story as many are in the book. You know what I mean? It's like obviously they're like, we cast this many guys and put them in furs, and that's how many Starks are here, right? Yeah. But they like underlined 15,000 Hightower men. That's how many are on the march.
Yep.
With the whole ass dragon.
Yeah.
And a dragon rider.
Behind a guy who's about to say one king is as good as another.
Tough.
Feels important. Feels important. How moved are you by Corlys' attempts to reconcile with Alyn? This is kind of an evolution in tone, I would say, in the approach.
0%. Thank you so much for it. How moved are you? Too little, too late is what I would say.
I think we're in a similar spot with this where like I love Adam.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome to watch Alyn kick ass in the Battle of the Gullet. I thought that the moments of admiration for his father are very organic and authentic.
I mean,
like,
his father,
oh, look at you.
Right?
Like, yeah, you're willing to put yourself at risk. You're willing to go draw the flagship out. And then, the just, you like, it's reflexive father when he realizes it might be too late. I was
pining for a
that.
daddy. Is that what you would say?
He's pining for a daddy. He didn't even know. Great. Just the best. Oh, Pattinson. Incredible. Can't wait for the Odyssey. I really like Corlys as a character, and I think that Corlys' relationship to family, legacy, like what an heir represents, what a real emotional connection represents, has always been kind of interesting across the season.
It's definitely like one of the biggest parts of his personality that they have hammered home for us.
For sure. I mean, in part to set up something like the fact that Lohar is right when she says he's going to be completely undone when he sees High Tide burning. And like he is.
My treasures!
Right? The monument to his achievement it stopped him in his tracks. It did, So that was interesting to watch. They're interrupted by the sounds of horns because the Triarchy is here. And
to the Gullet on the today.
To the Gullet on the today! We had to wait 2 years, but here it is. We loved that we got just another, is it the Lannisters? Is it the Greyjoys? The Red Kraken is always welcome here on this podcast.
The Red Kraken is a Greyjoy who loves to pillage. All Greyjoys love to pillage.
They do. They can't fucking help themselves. Yeah. My God. It's not always Triarchy.
Always be pillaging. That's what the Greyjoy said. Isn't that their house words?
Those are the house words. Yeah. Yeah.
We do not sow, we pillage.
What is dead may never die. Always be pillaging.
Always be pillaging.
Poetry. It is. when you're falling off the rope bridge between the spires of your castle because you're pillaging. When it's time for a king's moot, one of the things you have to stress in your pitch to the assembled.
Always be pillaging. I am the Storm Brother, the first and the last, and always be pillaging.
Always be applying eyeliner and always be pillaging.
You know who got that note? Lohar. The wartime eyeliner.
Yeah.
The smoky eye.
Yeah. How do you keep that on in a sea battle?
Oh,
waterproof?
It's setting spray.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
You have so much to teach me too. Speaking of Lohar, Tyland approaches in full kit as she observes, and Lohar mocks him. He has no idea, right? He's like, let me tell you about these inlets and the path that we should take. And Lohar says, canny strategy. I can see why your king made you lord of the ships. And he's like, thanks.
What color apple is Lohar eating there?
Doesn't matter. It's not important.
It's a red apple.
It doesn't matter. It's not important.
It's a red apple.
And here's the thing I'll say about Lohar.
Fresh off the back of getting Anne Hathaway's Catwoman on your team, you can't accept the L. Take a dub and take an L. Lohar's on your team.
There are a lot of different red apples. And I don't like them all. I don't like them all.
You have to accept them all.
Was that a Honeycrisp or a Pink Lady or a Sugar Bee? I don't think so.
It's not Team Honeycrisp, Sugar Bee, or whatever the fuck you just said. Honeycrisp, whatever. It's
Honeycrisp, whatever. Frankly, how dare you?
It's Team Red Apple. You have to take all the red apple leaders. All right.
Fine. Lohar's not going to be on the team for long, so it's okay. Since the half jaw sick.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought half hand was good.
I thought cleft jaw was good. You know what cleft jaw said? Always be pillaging.
Always be pillaging, man. God. So this is the inevitable breach of trust with the Triarchy that every single character said would come to pass. Aemond, as we talked about at the time, Aemond basically got Otto's book plot. Let's go get the Triarchy, right? Now, if you're like, who's the Triarchy? I don't remember. A lot of the season 2 finale was spent with Tyland and Lohar, and frankly, still
an astonishing amount of screen time.
Wild that happened, but it did. And then, of course, our guy, the crab feeder, back at the Stepstones back in the day. The Stepstones, the Triarchy, this tension with Corlys that Lohar here is like, this is why I came.
Yeah.
Right? To get the guy who made things so hard for my mates.
If you see someone in like really cool, fun fabrics, it's probably a Triarchy.
Yeah.
They love a pattern.
They do. Yeah. You're right.
They love saffron, burgundies,
They mud wrestle at their parties. We learned that. That was fun.
Come impregnate my wives.
Do you think he did?
I think he did.
Then he enjoyed some good times.
I think he gave it the old Lannister try. The old Casterly Rock try.
He told Aemond when he wanted to do this that they were little more than pirates, so he can't be surprised that this is happening. He's like, you said, but the pledge was this.
Oh no, the consequences of my own actions.
Alicent was like, the Triarchy may play at accepting terms, but they are not to be trusted. Your father knew this. And Criston said, are we to invite these alien raiders, racist, into our waters so close to King's Landing? No one thought this was a good idea. And sure enough, it isn't. It isn't.
It is, I mean, they're still fighting the battle.
True. They're taking out some of the Valyrian fleet.
They're still doing what they said they would do.
Yeah.
So, like, is the motivations and are the tactics, like, are the motivations self-serving?
Yeah.
Are the tactics self-serving? Yes, but they're not like, it's not like they showed up and then just like turned around and didn't do their job.
True.
Justice for the Triarchy.
You know what? It's a great point. Part of
they
wanting
took out the heir to Rhaenyra's throne.
Well, with some help from inside the house. But yeah, I mean, it's true. Part of wanting to take down Corlys is diminishing the Valyrian fleet, which obviously benefits Team Green and seriously, seriously hurts Team Black. Is the Triarchy going to be a helpful ally in any other way? No.
Short term?
Useful. Ormond, it's time. We pan to Tyrion. We see Tyrion in the foreground here. Beautiful. We got to glimpse Tyrion flying very briefly at the end of season 2. Tyrion here in front of our screens in full. No rider. Darren is not on Tessarion here. Tessarion is in a pen. And I think that this feels like the show just committing fully to the bit at this point. It's like, we're going to really show you Tessarion, but we're not going to show you Darren on the back. We know that you're waiting. Let's have some fun with it.
I also think Ormund Hightower in his like pomander sniffing, all of the tents are aligned kind of way. We keep our dragons in a little pen.
Well, and that's bad.
When we're on the... No, I know it's bad.
Yeah.
You should not pen in a dragon. There are very many cautionary tales about keeping dragons in confined spaces. But I just love the idea. I don't love it, but I love the idea that like as he's traveling, they have to like take down, put up, and we have to like rebuild this pen at every stop.
Given his... Oh, this messenger smells like shit. Let me hit my my little perfume bauble. What do you think? Does he think like dragon flame? Does that smell good? It smells like a barbecue, you know?
Great question. But probably like all Hightowers, he's like dragons.
Yeah.
Useful weapons, but filthy beasts, you know? Something like that.
It's a great like royalty posh accent. I love it. It did make me think it made me think of Dany a lot. Obviously, this is a stretch House of the Dragon of the story where dragon riders are routinely keeping their dragons, and sometimes they're in the dragon mont and they're in a natural habitat, but sometimes they're in the dragon pit, right? And like a place that they should not be. It really, I think, makes us think of Dany, though, chaining 2 of her dragons in the catacombs of Meereen.
Guess what? That was fine.
It was not fine, folks. And then, that moment when Dany is like thinking back on her own history, but not really heeding it and saying to Jon, they filled people with wonder and awe, and we locked them in here. They wasted away. They grew small, and we grew small as well. You should not be keeping dragons in a pen. It's tough.
She's talking about the dragon pit.
Yeah.
Wasn't great.
We meet 3 new characters in this scene. We meet Ormund Hightower, bold Jon Roxton, and a mystery young man. Let's talk about all of them. Ormund. We already talked about just how like iconic this is. So he's the head. We should say he is the head of House Hightower. He's not like beneath Otto, the mysteriously missing Otto on the hierarchy here. He's the head of the house.
Because the head of the house died off screen, and now he is head of house.
He is Otto's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
He took Darren to ward. He doesn't like smelly stuff. He doesn't care if anyone knows it or if he's going to offend them by making it clear that they smell like shit. And this was so good, we have to see it.
I bring urgent word from King Aemond.
King, is he now?
Incredible. Okay, so Jenna, tell me like your reaction to all of this. Just the kind of like eccentricity that we glimpsed right away, right? Incredible, very memorable. But one king is as good as another.
Oh, boy.
Also, when he's reading the scroll,
King's
we
now.
glimpse abdicated on there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like leaning into a misunderstanding. Oh, they think Aegon's dead? Sure, why not? Right? That's not actually what the scroll says. So what did you make of his response there for a character we just met, we've spent 30 seconds with? What does it tell us?
Here's what I think. I think Ormund thinks that if he goes to Walden and crushes Rhaenyra and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's head of House Hightower, so maybe he doesn't want the job. But like,
don't the Hightowers always want the job though?
Hand of the king.
I mean, they want control, they want power. They always have.
He just like, this is what Otto wanted.
Yeah.
This is what House Hightowers wanted, is to like to be de facto kings, right? So it really doesn't matter which Targaryen butt sits on the throne, right? I think he wouldn't mind if the one he took to ward sat on the throne. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like, Aemond, Aegon, the one that I have under my thumb entirely.
Right. One's as good as any other.
I'll rule them all.
Naturally, it made me think of my single favorite moment in the entire show, which was Hobart Hightower.
Hail, hail!
Aegon the Conqueror, man! When
So
he was a child and not here. He wanted to advance Hobart wanted to advance the Hightower agenda. Otto wanted to advance the Hightower agenda. Alicent eventually wanted to advance the Hightower agenda and then had some regrets about it.
Gwayne wanted a nice soft bed to sleep in.
Wanted to be at the end. When Alicent emerges at the wedding in one of our actual favorite moments of the show in the green dress, light the beacon, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, Team Hightower behaves in a certain way. So this felt great.
They're like, we got the money. We want some power. And listen, this is true by the end of the episode.
Yes.
Ryan Condal was going around likening Ormund Hightower to Tywin Lannister because he was like, he's the richest guy in the land, just like Tywin Lannister was.
Yeah.
I think Corlys would have something to say about that, except
just took a hit.
His house just burned down, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But Corlys Velaryon is quite wealthy. But Ormund Hightower in his shiny religion-coated armor is here. I really liked this. Our listener Hannah wrote in likening this introduction of Ormund to the introduction of Tywin Lannister butchering the deer in season 1. You know, so like when we meet Tywin, it's a very memorable introduction. Was this a very memorable introduction to Ormund? To me, yes, I loved it. I mean, I think Tywin, nothing touches Tywin. That's like God's tier, but like this was incredible. If you carried a pomander, which is a little decorative ball of incense that you carry around with you. What's the scent that you would go for? What essential oil are you putting in your diffuser?
What a great question. I think I would want like a bunch that I could choose.
Yeah, but the prompt is if you could pick one
to suit my mood.
Sure, but if you could pick one.
Well, I think it would have to be something that I found pleasant, but also masked smells really effectively.
Yeah.
So like something, you know, subtle and soothing and calming, like a chamomile is not going to cut it here. We need like
Lang Lang's not going to do it.
What about like a clove, you know, a nutmeg, cinnamon, kind of like something that, though then it would make me hungry.
Yeah. You
like,
want a cookie.
I was like a kid still like this. If you had like a, you know, Christmas cookie candle or something, or like warm vanilla sugar body wash, I'd be like, I want to eat that. I wouldn't, but it would smell delicious and I'd want to. So I don't know. Would I be more disciplined in my old age? I'm not sure. What would you pick? Would you pick something like piney?
I would say eucalyptus or tea tree oil. That like really sharp
Northern
smell.
California kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that that sharp smell would really like cut through the manure scent that he's trying to mitigate here.
Eucalyptus is really nice. Very like kind of spa energy. I like a lavender. Lavender would be nice. Not sure it's strong enough for this.
Yeah,
but
it's not strong enough. I think you need something that's going to like make your nose hairs kind of like curl up.
What about citrus?
Sure.
You know? Like a nice Meyer lemon. Oh. You're not a fan?
No.
Tell me why.
I don't like Meyer lemons. And not only do I not like Meyer lemons, but I like lemons so much that like when it's accidentally a Meyer lemon, it's tough for me.
Unbelievable.
We don't need to know this about me.
Let's smell delicious. I think it would be difficult to be on a field of battle if smells bothered you this much, because one of the things that we know to be true is they never tell you how they shit themselves.
Does he ever leave the Hightower? It's a great question. Dean, our listener Dean, said, I took it that he recognized his sister's handwriting no matter what it said. She signed it as King Aemond, but like...
What do you think?
I don't know.
Does he know it's from Alicent and they're in cahoots? So they're cousins, right?
I don't know that they're corresponding enough that like, because she didn't even know how Darren was. So I don't know that she's like writing a ton of letters back to Old Town. So
that's my thing. The fact that she had to ask Gawain, what's my own kid like she and Ormond are not in touch.
I don't think he knows her handwriting.
I don't think so either. He does know quite a bit about bold John Roxton. Brazo from Andor is here. Thrilling. Wonderful. So we have 2 new Valyrian steel swords in the show. They both carry them. Ormond carries Vigilance, the Valyrian steel sword of House Hightower. John Roxton carries Orphan Maker. Orphan Maker. Incredible name for a sword.
Vigilance.
His armor was cool too.
Very cool. The rings. I feel like if I'm Ormund Hightower, I'm renaming my sword. If I'm hanging out with Bold John Roxton, he's like, "Have you seen my sword, Orphan Maker?" And he's like, "Have you seen my sword, Vigilance?"
But Vigilance, I mean, I would react that way. Vigilance feels so Hightower coded. It's like, ooh, we're from Old Town and the Hightower and the proximity to the faith. And we're like important and rich and handsome and well groomed and always smell good. Vigilance.
And we're gingers. Speaking
of, there's a young man in lovely kind of plush, like green velvet
livery of some sort.
The first glimpse we get is Ormond and this young man. They're standing in profile, like in their tent, very close to each other, you know, in conversation. And then this kiddo refers to him as sire. So,
which is an insane thing to say.
Crazy. We have a few possibilities.
You called kings sire.
Ormond asking
Or
people to call
vampires, sire. It's kings and vampires.
What if, dude,
Do you think
we always talk about the adaptive liberties because Fire and
he's
Blood
a
is
daywalker?
unrebeliable narrator. You could go in any
Ormond's a
number of
vampire.
directions. Maybe that's one of the reveals that's still to come. Ormond vampire. It could happen.
The vampire Ormond?
My name is Arun and I'm an addict. Why not? It could happen. It could happen. Here are some possibilities for who this kid could be. He could be one of Ormond's actual children because Ormond does have kids.
Sure.
He's got multiple sons who are in the story. This could be one of them. This could be his squire.
Sure.
15,000 strong preparing for battle.
Sure.
He does send him to do a task. He's like, make sure this guy has a tent and for fuck's sake, make sure he gets a bath.
Right.
He smells like shit. He could be his ward. They do not tell us who the character is.
I agree. They don't tell us who that character is. He has red hair and he's wearing a lot of green. And we saw a dragon.
We did, and that dragon did not have a rider with him. Where could that character be?
Moving on.
It's Incest o'clock.
TikTok. Orphan maker.
Chris just simply could not stop talking about Aemond and Alicent kissing. It was something that really reached him and moved him, and we'll explore why. Alicent appeals to Aemond. She's like, I gotta get this guy to Harrenhal. I made a promise. I gotta figure this out. She tells him a thing that we know she does not believe, right? Midway through season 2, she said to Criston, you know what he is, what he has somehow become. Like, it's undeniable how Alicent sees Aemond. That's not a question. She's got to gaslight him. Love language, words of affirmation, specifically from my mom I want to fuck.
Yeah, mommy.
To be clear, the mom he wants to fuck.
Of
When I
course.
said I was pretending to be Aemond for a second, just to get that on the record.
She's a horse, not a horse, you know? Well, Alicent. You've come a long way from taking down dragon orgies to smooching your own son.
What a journey for Alicent on the...
What a fall from grace.
My God, like lecturing a young Rhaenyra for the queer customs after the whole you were trying to copulate with your uncle in the bowels of a pleasure den business, right? Ended up marrying 2 of her kids to each other, right?
She didn't love it.
And now her own son is kissing her right on the mouth.
And he's like, I'm going to have a banquet in your honor with the decapitated head of my
And
uncle.
then I'm going to jerk off because I want to fuck you and you're my mom. That's what happened in this scene. This was some of the best acting on the show to date. Olivia Cook's facial expressions here were just honestly astonishing. I don't know. Is this a meme yet? If it's not, it should be. I really hope this becomes a big meme when he pulled away. Like,
her face.
It was just incredible. Let's make it a meme if it isn't yet. Can we commit to that
You
now?
have that power. You know you
I
do.
don't really. I mean, I don't. I'm
You
gonna
don't
go on
just
Twitter.
suggest it
Make it a meme
to your
bad
adoring
babies.
fans.
You have your task.
Mallory hath spoken.
You have your
Memeify it.
task.
Get rid of Matthew Reese sliding off a chair in Widow's Bay.
No,
and
I
replace
love that. I love that. Keep the Widow's Bay memes coming. That show fucking rules. She touts, she says, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. And he's like, fuck that. I'm not afraid. Right. So that part didn't work. But the, hey, Harrenhal, you can be safe there. That did kind of work, which doesn't make sense. As we talked about on Talk the Thrones, Aemond has a mural in his room
of Harrenhal melting.
Balerion and Aegon the Conqueror burning Harrenhal. So that was bizarre, I thought. But you should have been king. That does work. Mommy telling you, the mommy who used to say to you when you were a kid, like, your obsession with these beasts goes beyond understanding, who was always like, why are you this way? This is all he's wanted. And it's part of why he curls up next to Sylvie.
You've got better hair.
He does have better hair.
You speak the language.
Though I like Aegon's waves. The waves. Lovely.
Yeah.
I do. Beautiful.
You would have him shave them, but that's okay.
Now I would. I mean, at this point,
Mhm.
he's trying to not be immediately identified as a Targaryen. So yeah, now I would. Joanna, Aemond's thoughts on incest, different from Alicent's.
Yeah, he's fairly pro.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Wishes that he had gotten to marry Helena.
Yeah.
jealous of Aegon for getting to marry his sister.
Would that I
He's
could
like,
marry my sister.
would love to.
Yeah.
And he's got a bit of a mommy thing. Sylvie, older woman, the mother's milk, definitely in the image of Alicent, the love he wanted.
We
and
know
didn't
why
get.
the show is doing this, and
We
I'm
do.
pretty into it.
Me too. We'll talk about that more later today. Should we watch the kiss just for the sheer pleasure of it?
Yeah.
I shall host a feast there, in your honor. In Black Karen's hall. Whilst my uncle's head looks down from a spike.
The side eye just unbelievable.
Give Olivia Cook
Holy
the
shit.
Emmy. I loved it. Okay, can I just tell you quick peek behind the
Please.
scenes?
Yeah.
I got here early today and I was preparing for the pod. I was sitting here preparing for the pod and
Yeah.
they just like kept
Playing
playing those
that clip.
clips over and over again.
Did it feel right? Did it feel good?
I just kept hearing the smacking of the kiss sound. It was pretty tough for
And
me
you were
personally.
like, once again, not for the first time this week, reflecting on how every show you're covering involves incest.
And then it would circle back around to your dragons. Your dragon screech.
An
you know?
appropriate response, I think, to what we just saw.
I agree.
Even for Thrones, parent-kid incest is rare, though not for Aemon's mirror character, Daemon. Who hallucinogenic werewood paste, werewood tree root dreamt about
to crawl back inside the womb in a certain way.
with his tongue.
Yep.
That was the way he wanted to crawl back inside the womb.
Correct.
Of his mother. Where are you on Alicent's sex life right now? Let's just recounts.
I did not read this part of the notes.
So, when Rhaenyra was out for a night on the town, the vision we got of Alicent was her just like, and it was sad, flat on her back, prone, under Viserys, pumping away gaping magical leprosy sores, covering his flesh.
You just wrote
Viserys sword pumps.
Viserys sword pump.
It's a shorthand in the notes. There's the Larys foot stuff, the aforementioned Larys foot stuff. The sex with Criston seemed hot and pleasurable, but even that was befouled because when they were fucking,
Oops, she lost a grandkid.
Elena walked in and was like, they're murdering. Just blood and cheese just
Oops.
happened. This is tough. I'd like Alicent at some point to just enjoy
A big bathtub with a consenting partner that she's not related to
yeah, that
And
would be great.
and does not have gaping wounds.
I hope she's at least masturbating in the big bathtub.
I'm sure.
She's
I'm
gotta
certain.
be. What else is there to do?
I'm certain when she's
honestly?
like, Aemon, I was in the bath for a week.
It's waterproof. Jace. Speaking of complicated relationships between mother and son, Jace imprisons his own mom.
You know what? I'm against it.
Were you surprised? We'll parse Jace's motivation and Rhaenyra's response, but were you surprised that Laurent was like, cool? Or does it fit with just the men always?
So my understanding,
Mm-hmm.
when he says, like, you're supposed to die for your queen.
Yes.
What is he literally? Anyway.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yes.
Your life or hers.
Right. He knows that the outcome will be.
He's going to die.
Yeah.
I've come to die for the dragon queen, right? Like, to keep her locked in a room. Like, he's like, you got to do this. And you're probably going to die. But it's going to be worth it because she's going to live.
This is just nuts. Like, Kondo.
And Lauren's like, the patriarchy makes a lot of sense, man. When you put it that way. Should we get Celtigar in on this? Like,
Celtigar's like, sorry, I'm busy ignoring her wails.
her screams.
I'm otherwise occupied. Yeah, I was really, I mean, it effectively conveys a point, obviously.
Tough beat for Sir Laurent, a
it's
character
tough.
we've enjoyed.
Yeah, really, really tough. I did enjoy Rhaenyra when she closed the doors in Jace's face when he was like, if you die, and she's like, then you can at last be king. I thought that was very good and very funny.
Yeah. I was prepared for this only because this is not what happens in the book, but I was prepared for this because the scene of her beating
That's
down the door
right.
was like in all the trailers.
That's
and I
right.
was like, what is this if not
Yeah.
them trying to keep Rhaenyra from the Gullet.
That's right. You
know?
called that on the trailer breakdown.
Well,
you did.
I mean, yeah, okay.
You did. I was just like, the doors always seem to be locked at Dragonstone. Who knows why? Baela notes to Jace, this is treason and you shouldn't do it. Right?
She's like, patriarchy, not great.
The manic glint hits his eyes.
Yeah, did you take this as Targaryen madness?
No, but it's entirely possible. You know, it's a risk.
Talking about destiny, purpose.
For sure. I think it feels like maybe, weaning in a couple different forms for this particular family. I think that it is really interesting as a character beat, one of the last that we'll get for young Jacaerys, because I think that he is sincere in wanting to keep his mother safe for various reasons. He lost Luke, and that is a wound and a source of pain. He doesn't want to lose his mom because he would miss her and he loves her. Also, that would be the end of his claim, right? That's it. No one's supporting Jace if Rhaenyra is dead.
Oh, he's very right. Like if Aegon dies or Aemond dies, like there's a clear line of blonde succession that they can follow over there.
If Rhaenyra dies, they're like, you're a bastard, we're out.
Right. But the strong boys, without Rhaenyra, it's over.
Right. And that insecurity born of being a bastard is so present here in so many ways.
Maybe there's missing blonde babies.
Well, no update on them. The practicality of that from Jace here of I kind of know what I wouldn't be able to maintain. Yeah. But then there's also just the baser when his response to the sewing was, even this you're going to take away from me. I ride a dragon and that's the one thing I have to basically tell everyone to fuck off who says you're a
and
bastard.
You're going to dilute my claim.
You're going to dilute my claim. The magnitude of being a rider. He is so desperate. So he wants to protect her, but he's so desperate to go out and prove himself.
But Rhaenyra has been desperate to do this her whole life, and she was told her whole life to you can't do this, you don't get to do this, and she took her dragon and went to Dragonstone anyway to hang out on that one bridge that they put in front of the volume.
It looked great. The clouds. I love that part of it. That irony that they're doing the same thing to each other. I think with Jace, there's the extra degree of the gendered,
but it's Rhaenyra's time. She was told no.
Totally. Oh, he's wrong.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not supporting him, but I'm just saying, in terms of
parsing the psyche,
in terms of teenagers being told they can't.
Yes,
she was told she couldn't,
right?
And so maybe she should think about that differently with Jace
for
sure.
Yeah,
but if she isn't, and she's I got to do this. And by the way,
yes.
Rhaenyra, neither of them have fought in a battle,
right?
But I think Rhaenyra. I don't know why, but I think Rhaenyra has more dragon experience.
No
we met her riding her dragon. You know what I mean?
Question.
And obviously Jace trained on his dragon and stuff like that. But it's just but also Vermax is a young dragon.
Yes.
Cyrax would be much more capable.
More seasoned.
You know?
No question.
When Sheepstealer flies in, and Sheepstealer is huge with giant scale, and those, I don't know, what are we calling them? Grapnels?
Yeah, grapnel.
I don't think those grapnels could have permeated Sheepstealer's armor.
A tougher scale.
Vermax and Moondancer's tender little teens. You know what I mean?
I know.
They're not fully mature dragons.
Jace was not ready for this. That's just a fact. I agree with you. I think that Rhaenyra and Cyrax are just more seasoned. They're more attuned to each other. I think that the fact that, Jace and Rhaenyra are kind of wounding the other in the way that they specifically feel wounded.
Sure.
I am put on the sidelines under the guise of protection, but really that makes me feel like I can't do the thing that I know I'm equipped to do, etc. is a real tragic element here.
Yeah, yes. And again, I know you're not defending Jace, but the difference being King Viserys putting his daughter in her place, and he can because he's the king.
Yes.
And she's his daughter.
No question.
And the son putting his mother in her
place.
And
his sovereign. His queen.
She's the queen.
Yes.
But she gets oppressed on both sides of the generation line because she's the woman.
Totally. I think
he gets accomplices inside of this.
Exactly, yeah. I think what Jace does here is irredeemable and undeniably wrong. I think it stems from a place of we have enough understanding of his history and his wounds and insecurities to kind of understand how he would arrive at this point.
You agree with Massaria as you always do. It was just trying to I don't know how she said it.
The accent has gotten
better.
Better.
Way better.
Better, which is a welcome. It's a relief.
The bar was in the bottom of the gullet, but she cleared it.
It's a relief. Rhaenyra's reaction, I think, makes complete sense and is totally justified, right? She's got this entire life, like you noted, Viserys, everything dating back to you can't go there. And like Otto didn't let Viserys go either back in season 1, episode 2, but like Rhaenyra was capable and actually got it done, and it didn't matter. It didn't lead to any in the next circumstance where Rhaenyra wanted to do something to everyone saying, okay. And when Rhaenyra says in this episode, I may appear to have the weak and feeble body of a woman, but I possess the heart and spirit of a king, it is undeniably true. I thought Emma Darcy, as always, they spoke so brilliantly and beautifully about the character and the character beats in the inside the episode, saying it's control in the guise of protection. What a perfect way to put it, right? It is gendered. She knows that this is gendered. She's well aware that her warrior spirit would be heralded were she male. Exactly. Yeah. Now, we do have examples. Again, Jace, it's like, no, you can't go do this. Viserys, no, you can't go do this. But if Rhaenyra were, no one's telling Aemond not to go out to battle.
No one's telling Aemond and Aegon not to go out to battle. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
This reminded me of one of my favorite Shakespeare lines.
The Bard, always welcome.
Which Beatrice says, much ado about nothing. Oh, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace. But we got a bunch of emails about this because I may appear to have the weak and feeble body of a woman, but I possess the heart and spirit of a king, is something that Elizabeth I, a real sovereign, said at Tilbury to her troops. And a lot of people remarked on it. I've seen reactions all across the map of like how people felt about it. Some people like loved this. Some people are like, why would you put a real world quote into a fantasy setting?
Yeah.
We got a couple, I thought, interesting emails. So our listener, Emma, sent in via her boyfriend, Joe, said this, but she sent it in for him.
Okay.
Joe, write your own emails, but okay. Joe said, even if cribbing from QE1 wasn't lazy, it would still be enormously at odds with Rhaenyra's character. Rhaenyra is a queen desperately trying to reject the constraints of sexist norms. Elizabeth I embraced those same norms, leveraged them to her advantage, and wielded power as a result. The two characters could not be more dissimilar. Elizabeth famously eschewed marriage. Rhaenyra has been married twice. Rhaenyra rides one of the largest dragons in the realm. Elizabeth never so much as attended a battle. The speech from which the line is copied was given before her soldiers marched to face the Spanish Armada. They did so while distinctly queenless. Elizabeth's most lasting achievement was likely deciding which group of religious men would hold outsized and unjustified power. Joe said early in his email, I'm Irish, so I might have a strong bias here. I really loved that part. Anyway, Elizabeth's most lasting achievement was likely deciding which group of religious men would hold outsized and unjustified power over her entire realm for centuries to come. As far as we can tell, Rhaenyra last saw a religious official when she had her super secret best pal meetup with Alyn in the Septa Baylor that one time. And even then, she clearly couldn't wait to be shot of the place. So I thought that was interesting. I think it was interesting comparing, like, as we think about Alicent working inside of the patriarchy and Queen Elizabeth, the virgin queen, like working inside of the patriarchy to wield power, and Rhaenyra trying a different path.
Yeah. Though young Rhaenyra was very opposed to, viewed marriage and the childbed as a
death sentence.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Our listener Liz says, the immediate context also struck me as interestingly contrasting. Elizabeth said this line to a speech to soldiers massed and waiting a potential invasion. It is clearly performative in a way that Rhaenyra's privately uttered line is not. Does Rhaenyra actually believe her body is inherently weak? Girlfriend rides dragons. Maybe she believes it in the moment under the circumstances and with her hands bloodied from pounding on the door, or maybe it's just an awkwardly placed reference. So anyway, a lot of people liked it. I thought those few critiques were interesting from our listeners. We talked about this a lot at the end of Thrones. Like, you know, there were just occasionally like either real world quotes or characters quoting other characters inside of the show. And we were just sort of like, that bumps a little. And so, like, to me, you know, it bumps a little.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it, but it bumps a little. So, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought that, like, I do think the decision to incorporate a real world quote is kind of an always fascinating choice in this universe. I think that the, like, Rhaenyra, so we've talked over the prior seasons about, you know, those, like, Rhaenyra, when Daemon and the council, when they're at the end of season 1, are kind of doing dragon math and plotting a war, and Rhaenyra is in childbirth. Those moments where it's like screaming, once again being ignored.
And and Celtigar's like,
can't hear you.
Yeah.
What?
Blah, blah,
the like undeniable aspect that something is different for her than it is for the men who are trying to tell her what to do and what she's allowed to do and what is safe and what is not. So if like Rhaenyra kind of acknowledging that in this capacity in this moment, especially where she's like, I'm used to all those other fuckers in my council trying to tell me they know better, basically like trying to rule my kingdom while I'm standing right there.
Yeah.
But my own Queensguard, my own son. Like,
Yeah.
what hope is there
Yeah.
if even they do it? And so, like, I may appear, I viewed it less as Rhaenyra feeling that way about herself and more like, I know that that's what they see,
think.
which felt then very in keeping with those conversations at the end of season 2 with Massaria about like, but I was never taught like, what's a foible, right? He never put a sword in my hand. And so then in this sequence here, when Rhaenyra picks up that sword, what is she doing with it? Is she there stabbing people, the Battle of the Gullet with the sword? No, she has to take that implement of war and shred a garment of as Emma Darcy put it, the ruling queen. This is the quote from inside the episode. She kills off the perpetual obstacle. This is shredding the dress. She put on the riding letters and then can't use them.
Yeah.
Right. So in the riding letters, leather still, shredding this gown, Emma Darcy said, she kills off the perpetual obstacle, which is the way she's perceived. And from this moment forth, I think she takes on the image of a king.
Kill the queen, let the king be born.
I love it.
Right.
Oh, man. Great stuff. Great stuff. So this was harrowing, as is the battle. We've hit a lot of stuff in the battle already. Anything just overall as like a set piece in a television show or a key beat in the story in terms of how this was filmed, the scoring, the naval tactics, the blend of point of view characters that you want to hit that we haven't before we get into a little bit more of the Sheepstealer of it all?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they did their best. I think they did, we saw all of the practical ships that they built.
Yeah.
I think they did their
Wet tank,
utmost.
dry tank.
I think they did their utmost to like make Lohar and Tyland characters to give us Alyn. It wasn't like wholly successful for me, but I thought it was inventive. Like some of the, Corlys being like, I'll lead her through this straight and she
That
can't
part was
follow
cool.
and then she can't, and like, all of that. I thought it was really creative. It just didn't like emotionally hit me the way that the best versions, like a Hard Home or something like that works.
I don't care about Lohar like at all as a character.
Yeah.
So Lohar being that central of a driver of the action, I think just definitely keeps it a tier below some of the most kind of hallowed Thrones battles.
But even in Hard Home, when we talk about Hard Home, we talk about a character like Carsey, who we like
that moment
met in that episode.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's ways
It's
to do
achievable.
it, but it's hard.
Yeah. I did really, really like the dragon stuff, though. I did. Also, Bitch Fist is a sick name for a ship. I should give the Triarchy that. This decision to have Rhaena on Sheepstealer just go right into battle, we've already talked about. We've provided our feedback. It's too late. Should have done some more training. Didn't happen. It's tough. I love that, the Triarchy, who we talked about this on Talk to Thrones, but have faced dragons before. Thanks, Daemon, right? Thanks, Laenor.
Correct.
In the Stepstones, so they do come, I know, a little bit more prepared. The sailors of the Triarchy, this is from Fire and Blood, had faced dragons before whilst warring against Prince Daemon in the Stepstones. No man could fault their courage. They were prepared to meet Dragonflame with such weapons as they had. Then it builds toward, it is one thing to face a dragon, another to face 5, which is a great, like, dun, dun, dun moment in Fire and Blood. But I really liked that we got that first grapnel hitting Vermax in, like, the harness.
Saddle. Yeah.
Because I think it does just enough of important work. Rhaena and Sheepstealer, we've got a lot of notes, right? The impact of that is undeniable. It fits a theme that we'll talk about in a second. I think that seeing this tells us it was a wrap for Jace and Vermax anyway. Jace was not prepared for this battle. Flying too low, too cocky.
It's possible that he wouldn't have flown that low. I mean, that's a whole thing. Again, Fire and Blood is a very brief text, so it's not like there's pages and pages and pages of this battle. But the thing about Jace is that he flew too low.
Yeah, want to read it?
All seemed lost. All was lost. Several differing tales were told afterward of how and why the dragon fell. Some claimed a crossbowman put an iron bolt through his eye, but this version seems suspiciously similar to the way that Meraxes met her end long ago in Dorne. Another account tells us that a sailor in the crow's nest of a Mirish galley cast a grapnel as Vermax was swooping through the fleet. One of its prongs found purchase between two scales and was driven deep by the dragon's own considerable speed. The sailor had coiled his end of the chain about the mast, and the weight of the ship and the power of Vermax's wings tore a long, jagged gash in the dragon's belly. The dragon's shriek of rage was heard as far as Spicetown, even through the clangor of battle. His flight jerked to a violent end. Vermax went down, smoking and screaming, clawing at the water. Survivors said he struggled to rise only to crash headlong into a burning galley. Wood splintered, the mast came tumbling down, and the dragon, thrashing, became entangled in the rigging. When the ship heeled over and sank, Vermax sank with her. It is said that It is said that Jacaerys Velaryon leapt free and clung to a piece of smoking wreckage for a few heartbeats, until some crossbowmen in the nearest Mirish ship began loosing quarrels at him. The prince was struck once, and then again. More and more Mirman brought crossbows to bear. Finally, one quarrel took him through the neck, and Jace was swallowed by the sea.
We have an important visual here, a visual reference. It is the exact same face. And you told us on Talk to Thrones, and you had texted me this before, you could hear Rob as you were watching this.
Mother.
Oh my God, it is sad. The Vermax stuff is so sad to me. He was just
oh my God, Vermax dying
better.
Really hurt my feelings.
He deserved better.
But this idea that Jace flew too low, but if he got hit once, isn't it possible he would have not flown that low again? Were he not veering at the last minute from Sheepstealer simply because he recognized Rhaena
and went down that low again because he was trying. Vermax to Baela's defense, to Moon Dancer's defense. So yes, I mean they all are culpable. Everybody's got some reflecting to do, except for Jace because he's dead. No, not Baela did great. Baela Moon Dancer, blameless as always. The fact that the the hook gets in the scale, and then your own strength, your might, the source of your power. That you are a dragon, or you have a dragon, you can fly, is the force that pulls them down.
He's strapped in, which is something that we talk a lot in terms of who's strapped in and who's not on their dragon.
Right. Saddled and strapped in.
So it's possible that if he had been unstrapped sooner, could he have cleared the corpse and swum away fast enough that they wouldn't have been like, hey, that's Prince Jacaerys.
Could have maybe it could have gotten away. Maybe instead he's just doing this really impressive big swan dive and just gets an arrow through the neck midair. Mother. Could have happened that way.
Our listener Macy wrote a letter to say, did either of you notice how the season openers always end with someone losing their heir? Season 1, Viserys losing Balon. Season 2 with Aegon losing Jaehaerys. And season 3 with Rhaenyra losing Jace.
There you go. It was the right decision not to end season 2 with Gullet.
It's a classic season opener.
It all happened the way it was meant to, all for a reason. We'll miss Jace, This is the heir to the Iron Throne, so this is a big deal.
And heir to the Iron Throne.
the heir, there are others, but the heir to the Iron Throne, it's a big deal. We saw the reaction to Luke's death.
Welcome to the stage, Joff.
I know, Joff, you're up. You're up. We know we sent you on vacation, but you're up. From the Rhaena Sheepstealer perspective, we talked about this on Talk to Thrones. I opened with it as my favorite thing about the episode, but just to hit it quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Since minute one, the opening scene of the show is the Grey Council, right? Jaehaerys. And we get the voiceover from Rhaenyra, the only thing that could tear down the House of the Dragon was itself. This has been the harbinger and the warning the whole time. And the series premiere, the first episode of season 1, features that moment with Viserys when he is choosing Rhaenyra. They're in front of Balerion's skull, right? Surrounded by the candles. And he says to her, the idea that we control the dragons is an illusion. They're a power men should never have trifled with, one that brought Valeria its doom. If we don't mind our histories, it will do the same to us. We saw that at the end of season 1. Was Arax listening to Luke? No. Was Vhagar listening to Aemond? No. And Vhagar ate Luke and Arax as a result. And Aemond was like, no!
And he's like, I meant to do that.
Fire and Blood quote that I've read 1,000
Mhm.
times, but we'll read 1,000 more. Who can know the mind of such a beast? This idea that the Targaryens have, the hubris, the insanity of saying,
Yeah.
And I'm a magical creatures obsessive. So on the one hand, I love this bond. I think the bond between a dragon and its rider is like an incredibly rich and meaningful thing. That's different from saying you're going to listen to me and do like another Fire and Blood quote that we love is like a dragon is not a horse.
Not a horse.
Not a horse and not a horse.
Dragons are not horses. Yeah.
Incredible.
A dragon's
So
not a horse.
a horse thing is going to be a lasting bit. I can already tell, and it's welcome.
Are you sure?
Yes. Oh, I'm sure.
My memory is
sometimes
so
you can
bad
just
that
tell in
I
real time.
probably will not remember this next week.
We're going to be back doing Talk to Thrones in a couple days, and Chris is going to be like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And we're going to have to remember to save it for the deep dive. And then next Tuesday, we'll bring it back. This is just perfect. You know, the characters who keep making these mistakes, it's here for a reason. And the fallout of this war, when we end the episode, it's just decimation and destruction everywhere, right?
Uncle versus nephew, sister versus sister. That's my sister.
Incredible moment.
Pretty stupid.
I liked what you said on Talk to Thrones, and it was like, is that there to just like actually remind people because it's been 2 years since the show has been on?
That's my sister Bela.
Oh, man.
Here's the family tree.
The battle in the Gullet raged into the night north and south of Dragonstone and remains amongst the bloodiest sea battles in all of history. A question Chris asked on Talk to Thrones was like, who won? Who's the victor? We didn't want to read this quote because we didn't want to.
You can still skip ahead, I think, even though you're going to read
skip
it.
ahead 10 seconds. I'm going to redact the character name. It is written that when Redacted was congratulated on his victory.
His or her victory.
It is their victory. Redacted said, if this be victory, I pray I never win another. Like, this is a...
That's the point.
This is a disaster.
Pyrrhic victory in every sense.
That's right. Who saw Rhaena? And will it matter what the answer to that question is? Because whether anybody other than Jace, who is dead, actually was able to identify that's Rhaena, what everybody saw.
Sheepstealer.
Another dragon came in and was fighting our dragons and burning everyone, including
a
the Valyrian fleet.
distinctive dragon with a clear underbite. Like, it's not just any, it's, you know, like, I understand that Chris Ryan's like, not all the dragons look the same or whatever.
Is easy to mark.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's tough.
I would say, who are like the most, it's like, Caraxy's number one, the Bloodworm.
Bloodworm.
Tessarian, Blue Queen.
I mean, Vhagar based on just kind of sheer size.
Vhagar.
Yeah.
Sheepstealer, I would put Sheepstealer up there. And then maybe
Sunfire the Golden, the most beautiful dragon in the realm.
Sunfire depends how brightly the sun is shining. If you can see the gold glinting off because sometimes people think it's Cyrax, because Cyrax has like
also gold,
sort of goldy coloring.
Wouldn't it feel like shit if you were also a golden dragon and no one talked about you that way?
There's Cyrax and there's Sunfire, the most beautiful dragon in all the realm.
And the glimmer and the pink membranes. It's like, what about me? Christ, I'm also blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else before we get to the book spoilers?
I think we did it.
Book spoiler section. Okay, you were warned via fancy graphic and spooky sounds. Once again, if you do not want to hear about things that happen in Fire and Blood that have not yet happened in the show, this is where you leave us.
The Horn of Helm's Deep did sound. Yeah.
Oh, love it. All right, we have a few things that we want to quickly hit. Rhaenyra. How do you think this is going to go over with Rhaenyra?
Not great. You want to read that quote?
Broken by the loss of one son, Rhaenyra Targaryen seemed to find new strength after the loss of a second. Jace's death hardened her, burning away her fears, leaving only her anger and her hatred. Still possessed of more dragons than her half-brother, her grace now resolved to use them no matter the cost. She would rain down fire and death upon Aegon and all those who supported him, she told the Black Council, and either tear him from the Iron Throne or die in the attempt. So Rhaenyra's like, it's go time.
She's like, kill the queen, kill the mom. Mom's dead. It's King Rhaenyra time. Nettles and Rhaena.
Okay. This is like so fascinating.
Okay, so here's the deal. So like Rhaena, so if Bela or anyone on the ship is like, hey, Jace died because there was this giant dragon with an underbite here.
Right.
with a rider that we didn't recognize. So a new bombshell has entered the villa, right? Like
yes, someone has a dragon.
someone has a dragon.
Yeah. Sheepstealer didn't come alone.
We got to filter this into the dragon math. Who is this dragon rider? We don't know.
Right.
The dragon was burning both ships, but sort of seemed to be attacking us. So does Team Green now have a new dragon and a new dragon rider? Right. Can they link Rhaena to Sheepstealer? Because if they can, Rhaenyra, so canonically,
yes,
Rhaenyra hates Nettles.
Yeah.
For like, you're fucking my husband. Wait, and I don't think they're going to do that.
I hope not.
I mean,
they could.
Because the book is also like, this could be Daemon's daughter or it could be his lover or why not both?
Right. And it is one of those, they're in their bedchamber a lot and like people are whispering, but who knows? Who knows the truth behind that door?
But Rhaenyra hates her, and Rhaenyra hates her in a way that like is very unflattering to Rhaenyra. And no matter what, if Rhaenyra is like, this young woman should die, it's going to be a slightly tough sell. But this woman should die because I'm jealous that Daemon is fucking her.
Right. Versus, you were supposed to protect my two young sons, and you abandoned them, and then you went and kind of,
and then Jace died,
helped kill accidentally, sure, but like kill the heir to the throne. That's not great.
I think that's a really clever, tidy way to sort of like tie this Rhaenyra Nettles vendetta, which drives a wedge between Daemon and Rhaenyra. I guess the question I have is like, what's the wedge? Because Daemon like does not have a relationship with Rhaena.
I know.
So like, is he going to defend Rhaena against Rhaenyra if she finds out, or you know?
What's interesting is that's like harder work for the show to do now because Daemon hasn't given a shit. So does some sort of like paternal instinct
it's the end of Marty Supreme. He's like,
so it's always about being a dad.
Being a dad is important.
It was always about being a dad, and here's some custom merch.
Yeah.
I did like those jackets more than I like the movie, gotta say. Yeah, I think subbing the source of the wrath for the dead kids as the origin is pretty interesting. There are a couple like, because that's the biggest thing. There are a couple other aspects of this, like, okay, so Nettles and Sheepstealer in the text, they kind of just vanish to the mountain of the moon. Like, well, that's where Rhaena claimed Sheepstealer. Like, okay, that all makes sense. We can see how that part of the Nettle story is going to probably apply here. It's not just that Nettles isn't Sheepstealer's rider. It's that Rhaena isn't going to get her book dragon. I am probably one of, like, I doubt too many people care about this, but maybe they do though. I am sad about this. I'll tell you why. Was mourning. So in the book, Rhaena, because remember those other eggs went up to the Vale, right?
I do.
Folks are like, I don't remember, the show was on 2 years ago. The other eggs went up to the Vale. So Rhaena has an egg who is born eventually. One of the eggs hatches. Her dragon, Mourning, is born.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was that dragon, if they had stuck with that, if they had done Nettles on Sheepstealer and had Mourning be born to Rhaena, would that dragon have played any role in the Dance of the Dragons? No. It's a little baby hatchling. However, when Mourning is born, it's like the Greens are like, fuck, because they have no dragons at that point. So then it's like it's a kind of feels like to them like a sign that the Team Black is more worthy and that the realm is going to think that. There are other ways to do that, but
I just think, I mean, yeah, because there's like, you know, the little blonde babies or whatever, you know, like I just think that,
but they can't not kill. They have to kill Stormcloud. Aegon the Third can't have a dragon, right?
Mallory, I don't think they give a shit about Aegon the Third and Stormcloud. I don't know if we'll ever hear about them again. I think Rhaenyra dies,
and that's the
end.
No,
I don't think they're doing.
You don't think the kids are coming back?
No, I don't.
What?
I don't.
What?
I think Rhaenyra dies, and that's the end of the show.
But you don't think they're going to be like, and Aegon the Third is now king?
Maybe, like, far off. This is why I think Tyland might be dead. Tyland might be dead. I think the show ends when Rhaenyra dies.
I feel like it's
more like when Aegon died. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's possible. I certainly think it's possible that, like, basically the Rhaenyra stuff is like the penultimate episode. They could even pull a Dany and have it be like inside of the finale. But there's got to be like at a minimum, like a coda.
Does there?
Yeah, because I need Craig and Stark back. God damn it.
It starts with Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
On Syrax. That's how we start.
Yeah.
I think it ends with Rhaenyra dying. I mean, if they liked us, they will show Aegon dying too. But like, I think it ends with Rhaenyra dying and Alicent being there to see it. Instead of her kid, it's Alicent watching Rhaenyra die. Don't you think that that's what this show is about? This show is about Alicent watching Rhaenyra die. Is it not? I don't know. I have no insider information on this. But like, we've got one more season after this.
Yeah, geez.
I really think we're just, Daemon's going to die mid-season.
Yeah, I mean, that could even be the beginning of season 4, potentially. They want to keep him around as long as possible.
Yeah.
Maybe it's episode 3
of
season 4. I mean, I think Alicent watching Aegon have Sunfire eat Rhaenyra would be pretty compelling television based on the show that we've watched. I am having, I think, a harder time wrapping my mind around them not getting to the other stuff at all. Like, how are we going to resolve, like, Larys? And, like, I mean, they have to kill Aegon. They have to at least do that. And then doesn't there have to be some of the fallout with the other, because we've also invested time in those characters, right? We don't want to see Larys' head on a spike at the end. I mean, I know you don't. You want him to live forever. I guess, like, the fact that they are telling all these other Targaryen tales, too. On the one hand, you could say they could wait, right? But on the other hand, like, I don't know, Aegon, because I feel like while Rhaenyra
I do not think they plan to do a House of the Dragon Aegon the Third.
No, I don't think so either. But I think establishing kind of this simultaneous, like, Rhaenyra died, but like her heir became king feels like important. And then also the fact that that kid grows up to be,
what I'll give you?
Terrified of dragons, the Dragonbane.
But
like
they're not doing Dragonbane. Like they're not doing it.
What about 10 minutes in the end? No?
I could maybe give you a title card at the end.
Okay. I need at least that.
Rhaenyra's son, Aegon the Third, takes the throne.
I need at least that. Some of the, like, white font on the black screen.
That's
I need
at
least that. God damn it. Okay, fair.
Whatever the Daenerys title card that opened it,
that's right?
And then we can close with Aegon the Third.
Okay. I need at least that.
Yeah.
I need at least that. Between now and then, Aemond will be finding Harrenhal empty, except he's going to kill Sir Simon. And Alice is going to be there. So this is what you were alluding to with, we understand why they're doing this. They're setting up another love affair with an older woman.
I know, but what's so funny is, like, I do not think that Gil Rankin and Ewan Mitchell look that much, like, apart in age.
I mean, this is also, like, Olivia Cook. They look like they're the same age. They always have.
Olivia Cook gave a great interview recently where she was just like, fuck Hollywood, honestly. She was like, what the fuck is this? Our listener Kat wrote in to say, what if Alice and Aemond hook up, but Alice is glamored and Aemond sees her as Alicent? Does Aemond know it's Alice and this is their little role play, or does he truly think Alicent came to him?
Interesting. That's a fun theory.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Olivia Cook, you want to do more scenes where you make out with your son? We got you.
Oh, I like that. That's a great one.
I mean, I do think no matter what, Alice is just going to be like fucking with Aemond's mind.
I hope so. I look forward to it. It's great. Fucking with some other stuff too.
Yeah.
Roddy the Ruin.
Our guy.
Butcher's Ball and Tumbleton. Obviously, they're going to change some stuff because, as you've noted, the economy of character, like some of the characters who are involved in Butcher's Ball, the Criston death, just like aren't here, right? Do you think Roddy's just going to be the one who kills him?
But I like those other characters
so
much.
I know. We got to get Pate in here.
Yeah.
I know.
Pate the Lion Slayer?
I know. I hope that still happens, but like, is it gonna?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably Roddy the Ruin gets to do all the cool shit.
I mean, he's going to get to take out Ormond and Tumbleton.
Pretty sick.
That's awesome. Speaking of awesome.
Do you think they'll let Daemon kill Criston Cole?
That would be great. But no, because Daemon has to leave, though. He could go back. He's on a dragon.
He's forever going places.
He is. He loves to travel.
Yeah.
He's just a student of the world, you know?
I definitely think we have to do the Butcher's Ball because Criston Cole has to have, like, not the big epic death he wants, but, like,
it's got to be fucking
death.
sad. Yeah.
A death.
No songs about how brave you died.
And then we have to have Tumbleton, obviously.
For sure. So the fact, because this was like something we were debating as we broke down the trailers and have been talking about this since the end of season 2. Like, how much room do they have for the battles? Will Butcher's Ball be like a quick thing or will it? My new feeling is if we're not getting a full fish feed, doesn't seem like we're getting honey wine because they're like the Hightowers on the Mander.
I feel like they yada the honey wine.
Butcher's Ball, I feel like is going to be bigger.
Yeah, Butcher's Ball and then Tumbleton.
That seems right to me. And obviously the taking of King's Landing before either of them. Tumbleton,
taking King's Landing
It should be
on the tomorrow.
Yeah, on the morrow,
On the today.
Tumbleton's setup so far, Two Betrayer setup is, I think, good.
Yeah.
They are doing a good job with this. So
Ulf and Hugh, yeah, really good. For different reasons.
Yes. Ulf is like, he's got the mounting resentment. No castle? What the fuck? Right? There's that. There's like an actual reason for him to be like, do I need to like stay on your side? But also just the fact that he's rash. He does what's right for him. He's not really a true believer. All of that very clear.
Adam, quite loyal.
Adam being simultaneously in the same cluster with them, thus like setting up everyone else is going to say, well, surely you're a traitor too, right? Lumping him in, but we see clearly he's not a traitor.
It's going to be so hard for me to hang with Rhaenyra when she turns on Adam.
It's going to be awful, but we have a lot of it's going to be hard to hang with Rhaenyra stuff coming.
So true.
Boy.
So true, bestie.
I can't wait for Bull John Roxton to take Orphan Maker, go up to Hugh Hammer and say, Lord Hammer, my condolences for what? You died in battle?
And
I mean, slip
on his entrails.
If you were going to slip on somebody else's something and then yourself die, do you want it to be an entrail or do you want it to be something else?
I simply would not.
Legitimizing the bastards.
Yeah.
A life, perhaps, but not a name. This is something that Alyn says to Corlys, setting up book canon, which is Corlys' pursuit of legitimizing them. They become Adam Valerian and Alyn Valerian of Whole, right? So they're setting up this as something that will happen, I guess, soon.
Something Corlys dearly wants.
Something Corlys wants.
Also, the fall of House Valerian here, right?
Yeah.
Like, his home burns, but like his house is just like in shambles.
Yeah.
There's a reason you haven't heard of House Valerian in the future.
It's tough.
Also, one of our listeners emailed and they were like, I was pretty sure Jace is going to die because I was pretty sure it wasn't King Jace Valerian because it's the fucking Targaryens. So
yeah. So that was part of their agreement, right? That like they could be called Valerian until they took the throne.
Until they're Targaryen.
Because Viserys was like, I know you're not suggesting that we change the royal house name and just because my daughter's a woman.
And Corlys is like
the handshake and he was like, oh! His fingers were falling off. Good stuff. Mentioned Honeywine.
Yeah.
Bees Erasure. How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm pissed.
This is when it's a real bummer that we can't put stuff from the spoiler section on social. But maybe we can in this case.
I think once it's
at a minimum.
I think it's once it's very clear, once it's so clear that we're not doing Honeywine.
Yeah, you take it to Maine.
I'm taking it to the Beesbury Erasure.
Outrageous.
I mean, we're still mad about what little Beesbury we got in Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Crazy. And
everyone's mad about that.
There are dozens of us
in the street. Imagine if we had got to see another Beesbury in a bee coffin. Come on now.
That bee coffin was sick.
Anyway.
Dude. Anything else on the book spoiler front?
Yeah. Okay. So we did get a couple emails about the erasure of Aegon and Viserys. So these hail the Conqueror babes that are supposed to be on the cog, the gay abandon, right? And they're not involved, right? So that changes Jace's motivation, which I talked about on Talk the Thrones. And I feel fine about talking that in the non-spoiler section, right?
Yeah.
In the book, Jace has, I would consider it, better motivation, to go out and rescue his brother, right? Like, then Mom, you can't go.
Right.
It's my destiny. I gotta go.
Right. Because Aegon flies back.
Clinging
to tiny little Stormcloud, first and last time riding a dragon. Before he watches Sunfire eat his mom.
Yeah.
This
traumatized.
It's text canon stunk like piss. Poor little kid.
How would Ormond respond?
Not well. And that's, and so then they got to go try to, Jace was like, well, I got to go get Viserys, right? Who is not found for quite some time until he comes back. These boys have a vibrant stretch of story ahead of them.
And as, Ryan Condal was like, listen, you guys bitched when we did a time jump in season 1. Did you want us to do another time jump to age up those kids enough that
I wanted you to make the kids the proper age in the first place.
Well, not when they like show them. It's like 7 and 9, right?
Yeah, but they're like babies. They're so small.
Like they're babies when Viserys is still alive, and you wanted 7 or 9 years to pass after Viserys' death.
No, they should have been the right age in the first place.
Well, they should have been 7 or 9 when Viserys died. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then he couldn't be like, here's my baby. And him being like,
that is a name hugging. I do love that. You're right. Maybe it was all worth it. Oh.
All right, this is what our listener Tom said. This event of Aegon fleeing on Stormcloud and Viserys getting taken to Essos serves partially to establish Jace's motivation to join the battle, but more importantly, to set off Aegon the Younger's character development and his guilt in not rescuing his brother, as well as the first of many traumas.
Yeah.
If most theories are correct and the series is going to end at Rhaenyra's death or at Aegon II's death right after, then it makes sense to exclude any significant character building of Aegon III in favor of characters we will see far more of.
Disagree.
I agree.
Disagree,
and then our listener Hilla is the one who's like, if we're not developing Aegon III as a character, if those blonde babies just go to Essos and never come back, then swap Ian Alicent for Aegon as the person watching Rhaenyra die in horror is much more fitting with the show that we've been presented with.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know where they're going to end the show, but it really seems like they're not interested in continuing beyond the story of Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is Tywin Lannister dead?
What do you think? Yeah.
I think yes. You think no. You think he has a lot to do, but does he have a lot to do that is
He does have a lot to do. He's got to like lose his eyeballs and like all sorts of other stuff. And he's got to be around at the end for, I guess, the stuff that they're not going to put in the show.
For the next generation stuff, which I don't think they're going to do. Well, I understand. Like when you're on Talk Thrones, you're like, I think he's alive. I'm like, I understand why you think that because he does have a lot to do in the book, but I just kind of think they might be done with him. And if they're not, let's say they're not.
Yeah.
And like, book readers are debating, is Tywin Lannister dead? They're not sure, right? We know Corlys is not dead.
Right.
But is Tywin, who went in full armor into the drink, is he dead?
Yeah.
If he's not, they're going to have to show us that quickly. Because if there's like a dramatic return of Tywin Lannister in like episode 8 of this season, viewers are going to be like, who?
It would almost be like the 900 other times they had a character vanish for almost an entire season and then reminded us of who they were. I'll just say, show canon.
Yeah.
That Lannisters in particular could fall into bodies of water in their armor.
Yeah, Jamie.
And be fine.
Even if they have a heavy gold hand.
Mysteriously fine.
It was a very shallow sort of part.
It was deeper than it should have been. I'll say that.
I mean, maybe this is just motivated by the fact that I want to see Joanna Lannister just like really take center stage as the most important Lannister on the show.
Sure.
Love a Joanna.
Yeah.
Love a Joanna
Love a
Lannister.
Joanna. Do you think we'll get the Red Kraken attacking Lannisport? Probably not.
Probably not.
What if we got that, but don't get Aegon III?
Maybe. I mean, I would not be surprised if they gave us some Ironborn and stuff in season 4. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Pillaging.
All right, we did it. I'll always be pillaging. Always be pillaging and always be potting.
Can I tell you something?
Please.
I do not know how long this podcast is. I had a blast.
I had a great time.
I had the best time.
I think we came in under 3 hours.
Wow.
But like maybe by like, it might be like 2:57. But that counts.
It does. I'm counting it.
That counts. Carlos is going to come in and be like, you don't remember what time this started. That's wrong. But I think it's right. Speaking of Carlos, let's say our thank yous.
Oh,
what a squad today. My goodness. We have with us Carlos Chiraboga, our wonderful producer, legend always. Scott Lee. Jamie and Jacob are both here today. An embarrassment of fucking riches.
I know. The control room is busy.
It's a treat when Jamie's here. It's a treat when Jacob's here.
Oh,
when they're both here.
Oh my gosh.
Yet someone you know Thrones is back. Arjun Aramka Powell, ill and not with us, but with us in spirit.
The Jason and Tywin Lannister of the... No, I'm just kidding.
How dare you? And Jomia Deneron. Now and always. Join us Sunday night, the minute episode 2 ends. I don't know how long episode 2 is, but whatever time that is.
This was a long boy.
Yeah, this was 66 minutes.
The third longest episode in House of Dragon history.
Is that true?
That is true.
Sheesh. I suspect we'll get some other meaty ones, some long ones as we go.
Girthy.
2 seasons left, 8 episodes. Not enough time. Just my take. But also I expect 4 episodes on Aegon III, so that's part of why that's my take. Join us Sunday night for Talk the Thrones with CR on episode 2, and then join us next Monday for Lestat episode 4 already? Yeah, episode 4. Sheesh. My goodness.
Exciting.
Maybe we'll check in on Supergirl. We haven't decided yet. We haven't seen the movie yet, so we'll see. We'll see what's possible scheduling wise. And then we'll be back Tuesday evening for our deep dive into episode 2. Until then, remember, a horse. Not a horse.
Orphan Maker. Bye.